those movies, the Conjuring movies?
Make sure we're muted here next time, so Cory doesn't. Can you imagine we were live? He's like, "Well, we're live, and I heard what Chuck said in my ear." So.
Yeah, this guy's accusing me of saying out-of-pocket stuff. I mean, this guy today, when he's not producing, look out. It's just
Then
like,
tomorrow, I'm like, "All right, guys, we'll be getting going in about 25 minutes here.
get your hits in.
Get your hits in, and
Guys, what did I say about the hits?
Oh my God, you're slay. You're such a slay, Chuck. God. Look at the golden retriever over there, Chuck. That was what I was talking about.
Alright,
It's not foggy yet.
I
This
know,
guy's
it
mind's the-
seems like it might be.
I
Got
thought you
fogged
said
out
that
on
you were
Saturday.
accusing where she was from, that I was
hey,
making the dog.
hey, that's not what I was thinking at all.
What am I doing with
Sure,
this truck?
I'm
sure.
gonna get into production
Oh, okay.
and then posting it after it's played on the broadcast.
Okay.
Unless, actually, you know what I can do? Don't worry about posting it. Just play it in the broadcast. I'll grab an Ethernet and tap in here, and
Hello?
as they say, tap right into the network.
Yeah,
Still?
you do that.
Yeah, we turned it off. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I saw what you have on there.
I got nothing but are you dropping? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. They do say that.
Yeah, is it? Is that what they say?
All good? No, you gotta eject.
You can still hear it.
This, huh?
You can still hear it
For the
live.
second time?
their first trip to Chatham. Alongside Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller. Josh, the Gatemen come off of that 6-4 win over Orleans on Sunday, and a chance for him to build a little bit of momentum against the team that's in last place in the East Conference.
Yeah, the Anglers are in last place, but they didn't play like a last place team when these two teams were up at Spillane Field. 9-2 win for the Anglers, but that was just the third game of the season. You know, both teams trying to shake off some rust, not having a whole lot of action from the end of the college season to then welcome in Cape Cod. So definitely going to be a little bit different, and you know, there are a lot of guys that weren't here last time when these two teams met that are here today.
Two of those names include Easton Breifogel. He's hitting third for the Gatemen tonight, and Andrew Kane. Breifogel really announced himself emphatically against Orleans, had a big day.
Yeah, he had a triple. He showcased his speed. I mean, he was all over the place, and that's a bat that Wareham is going to need to try and replace someone like Ty Daly, who just got released. His time in Wareham is done for the year, but you get Breifogel, his bat starts to get hot, carry over what he did in a 65-game season for Arizona. It's a good spot and a good hitter for Wareham to have.
Well, speaking of Easton Breifogel, he's standing by with our Rayna, Maggelet.
I'm Rayna Maggelet, joined alongside Wareham Gatemen outfielder Easton Breifogel. So Easton, your Cape League debut, you went 2 for 3. You had a walk and a run. How did that game feel for you?
Yeah, it felt good. Obviously, it was the first game of the summer for me, so I kind of wanted to get, rolling hot, and I'm glad I got 2 knocks and we got the win, so I can't complain.
Back with your Arizona Wildcats, you had a perfect 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts, and you had one back in Orleans. Walk me through your mindset when attempting to steal a base.
Yeah, obviously I try to find a good count to steal, usually on a breaking pitch count. Try to get a good jump, otherwise just shut it down and hope for the best.
Great. Good luck tonight. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rayna, thank you. We'll see everyone at 7 o'clock on Cape League TV for first pitch from Veterans Field.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
The calendar has flipped to July, and the Gatemen are back in action after a day off yesterday, having topped Orleans 6-4 on Sunday. Back here at Veterans Field alongside Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller. The Chatham Anglers have taken the field. Gabe Davis throwing his warm-up pitches. Josh, we talked about it in the open, but a prime opportunity for the Gatemen to get back to 500, start a winning streak against a team last in the East Division standings.
Yeah, and we mentioned it in the open also, is that Chatham didn't play like the worst team in all of Cape Cod, or at least in the East Division standings. The last time these two teams played, the Anglers won 9-2 off the back of Nate Taylor, who threw 4 perfect innings, struck out 10 batters of just 12 faced. Now today you have to face Gabe Davis on the mound, a righty from Oklahoma State, who has 7 strikeouts in his 4 innings. His only 4 innings so far this season did come in relief, so we'll see how he translates over into a starter role. It will be big to see how the Gatemen do against that righty.
1 game started for Davis this summer, 4 shutout innings, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts for the big 6'9" right-hander out of Oklahoma State. The lineup he'll be facing for the Gatemen. Hayden Yost leads things off. Levi Clark, the DH, bats second. Easton Breifogel in his second game with Wareham hits third in left field. Chris McHugh at first base bats fourth. Batting fifth at third base is Andrew Kane. Batting sixth, the shortstop Kai Scargett. At seventh, the right fielder Chase Cruson. Colby Turner hits eighth at second base, and rounding things out is the catcher Mac Rose.
Easton Breifogel hitting in that 3-spot, Cory. That's a bat that Wareham is really going to want to see continue to, play well, carry over his season from Arizona. Ty Daly released, so his season with Wareham is done for the year. So now it's who's going to step up next. Breifogel is a great candidate to do that for the Gatemen.
The defense for Chatham behind Davis, Larson, Ford, Freeman, left to right in the outfield. Gallagher, Lane, Mendoza, Hanley, third to first across the infield. And Aaron Beatty doing the catching for the big 6'9" righty.
Leading off for Wareham, the center fielder from the University of
The Gatemen come in at 6-7, Chatham at 4-6-3. Most recently for the Anglers, a 9-7 loss at Falmouth. And the Gatemen, that 6-4 win over Orleans on Sunday. We league-wide day off yesterday. Now here on July 1st with the calendar flipping, Hayden Yost digs into the box to lefty. Facing the righty, Davis. He's ready. Yost is ready. Davis raises the glove into the windup. And his first pitch tonight from Veterans Field is a pitch that misses outside for ball one. Davis, in 15 appearances, started 3 games for Oklahoma State this past spring. Kicks and fires on the 0-1. Yost taking in there for a called strike one. 0-3, a 5.92 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 16 walks. A career 5.61 ERA at Oklahoma State for the big righty. Count even at 1-1, that pitch coming. Yost taking an off-speed pitch that misses outside. Davis in an ideal world would have been OSU's ace, but his struggles got him moved to the bullpen. So you mentioned his one outing this summer was sharp. 2-1 pitch now on the way to Yost. Grounded to the left side, diving attempt, it's past Gallagher. Lane fields, throws to first. In time to get Yost. It snuck by the diving third baseman Gallagher. Lane from shortstop made a nice backhanded play.
Designated hitter from the University of Tennessee, number 26.
Nice play over on that left side of the infield for Chatham. Hayden Yost chugging along. This is his first time in that leadoff position since opening day. So interesting to see, how he, may have adapted going from all the way at the bottom end of this Gateman lineup over to the top. Something that Braden Randall said a lot of when he was leading off was you have to be able to see pitches and do that.
Now Levi Clark batting second, takes a first pitch fastball in the outside corner for a called strike one.
Even with that ground out, Cory, you could see that Yost was, finding a little bit of comfort after those first few pitches. Saw something he wanted to swing at. Gave Clark a little bit of a heads up for what Davis is going to be dealing today.
Righty on righty matchup. 0-1 offering from the big righty. Breaking ball, dips low and outside. Clark at 324 hit that home run at Orleans, went the opposite way on Sunday. So 2 homers, 3 RBIs. He and Daly had been this tandem in the middle part of this Gateman order. Clark anchoring that second spot tonight, the DH. 1-1 pitch on the way. Behind on a fastball, fouls it out of play down the first baseline. And the exit of Ty Daly, again, getting prepared for the MLB draft-eligible player, so that's why he has left the Gatemen. But that release and that exit has implications you got to think up and down the lineup, as it's certainly a newer-looking lineup without Ty Daly, who played in every single game for Wareham. Davis kicks, 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew a high fastball by Levi Clark, quickly 2 away to begin the game.
Yeah, and Clark's been penciled in either 2, 3, or 4, usually second or third in the Gateman lineup, no matter if Daly is here or not. Of course, this is the first time that Wareham has had to play without their usual everyday first baseman, but Clark maintaining that spot at second in the order, and here's Breifogel, the outfielder that just arrived for his second game of the year.
First pitch he sees tonight, laces that one. Deep to left field, hustling back is Larson, but he settles under it to make the grab on the run.
Welcome to Veterans Field.
So the Gatemen go down in order in the top of the first. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits. And at the end of the top of the first, it's the Gatemen 0 and the Anglers coming to bat on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Gabe Davis tossed a scoreless top of the first for the Anglers, so now Logan Baisley getting his warm-up pitches in for the Gatemen, his third start of the summer. Both of the prior two came against YD. The first time, pretty solid, Josh, but last time out, some struggles against the Red Sox.
Well, Cory, I was going to say, pretty Jekyll and Hyde when you look at those two starts that Baisley has had this year. The first came at Spillane Field, and he pitched pretty well. 3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout, so definitely wasn't. He was producing a lot of ground balls, but he was getting outs. That second time when they played at Red Wilson Field, 3 2/3, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned, struck out 3, so he had some stuff working for him, but he was also giving up a lot in the air. Definitely played a part of, some pretty hot conditions. Red Wilson Field, not a very large ballpark, gave up 3 home runs.
First pitch of the night to Henry Ford, the leadoff man on the outside corner for a called strike one. Across the 2 starts, a 6.75 ERA, 6 2/3 innings pitch, 5 earned runs, and those 3 home runs in his last outing. 1-0 pitch, Ford out in front, gets a weak piece of it right back to the backstop, 0-2. And certainly a tough test facing Ford to begin his outing. Comes in hitting .327, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Ford just announcing his transfer commitment to Tennessee if he decides not to pursue a potential draft pick. 0-2 pitch, fastball in there for a called strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Henry Ford set down on strikes to begin Baisley's half of the first.
Good pitch from Baisley there, working quickly. This is a fantastic opportunity for him to really get back in a rhythm, get things flowing, and just overall settle back in. Had a tough start on the road last time out. Get everything going here, you're in a much better spot.
Facing now Gavin Gallagher, the third baseman, hitting second, righty on righty. First pitch to Gallagher inside on a fastball for ball 1. Gallagher at .250, no homers, no RBIs. He scored 8 runs, though. Sophomore out of UNC, getting the start at third base tonight for the Anglers. Baisley ready on the 1-0. Fires high, 2-0. And we talked about, obviously, the conditions for Baisley's last start. Not ideal in terms of the field dimensions favoring a pitcher.
Well, it's also about 20 degrees cooler
I was about
tonight.
to say,
yeah.
Overcast as well. So not 95, bright, sunny, and humid. 2-0 pitch to Gallagher. Another fastball misses inside. Runs it to 3-0 with Ethan Mendoza waiting on deck. Chatham comes in 7th in the league in batting, .219. 3rd in runs, 57. 0-0 game, 3-0 pitch. Right there for a called strike 1. As we've talked about, it was a 9-2 Anglers win back on the 16th in Wareham. Second meeting of the summer between these two squads. 3-1 now. On the outside corner, called strike 2. Baisley's worked himself back into the count.
And the entire difference in that game came in the 4th inning. A 7 spot for the Anglers put Chatham out in front for good. Early on in the season, it was those 1 innings that were killer for the Gatemen. They've turned it around.
Payoff pitch in there for a called strike 3. 3 straight strikes from Logan Baisley. 2 strikeouts via the backwards K to begin his outing.
From the University of Texas, number 5, Ethan Mendoza.
Brings up the second baseman Mendoza. 2 outs, no one on for him. Comes in hitting .288, a homer, and 11 RBIs for the Anglers so far this summer. Baisley into the line. First pitch to Mendoza, curveball. Slings back into the zone for a called strike 1. Mendoza, sophomore infielder from Texas. Transfer from Arizona State. Waits on an 0-1 now. Fastball misses low and outside, 1-1.
He's having a pretty good summer so far. 288. 1 for 4, 2 RBIs his last time out against Falmouth.
1-1 pitch coming from Baisley. Breaking ball, winds in there, 1-2. The offense from the Anglers definitely has been solid. Again, the batting 7th, but they've scored the 3rd most runs across the league. The Gatemen 5th at 54, but the pitching has struggled. The ERA sits at 9th across the Cape League. Already 2 strikeouts for Baisley. No one on, 2 away. Now a 1-2 pitch to Mendoza. Slap foul down the right field line. The Anglers do have a tendency to strike out, 134. Second most in the league, but also do walks. 71 free passes, that's also second most. Another 1-2 pitch. Rolled on the ground foul, this time down the third base line.
You mentioned how often they walk. 343 on base percentage. It's pretty close to the top of the league. When you compare them, Wareham has a better batting average than Chatham does, but the Anglers have a 40-point higher on base percentage.
Thanks to 30 more walks they have over Wareham. Big difference in OBP. Third straight 1-2 pitch from Baisley. Comebacker right back up the middle. Past Baisley on the mound. Fielded by Turner on the backhand. And he slings it across to McHugh at first in time for out number 3. Strong start for Logan Baisley on the mound. 3 up, 3 down, including a pair of Ks. After the first inning, we're tied up at 0 here at Veterans Field in Chatham.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
3 up, 3 down across both sides in the first, so 0-0 ball game. Back here on Cape League TV at Veterans Field in Chatham alongside Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller. Thanks for joining us here tonight for some Tuesday night baseball. First day of July. The Gatemen looking for their second straight win. Chris McHugh, Andrew Kane, Caius Gargett to start the second. 4-5-6. McHugh at 214, 2 homers, 2 RBIs. McHugh back in action after he left the game against YD on Saturday, fouling a ball off of his leg. Davis back to work on the mound. Wind in first pitch of the second. McHugh skies it foul down the first baseline out of play.
McHugh only missed, about a game and a quarter at that point? It was pretty late in the contest against YD. Fouled it right off his foot. Has to hurt.
Finished the at-bat, but then left the game. Missed the next one against Orleans. Waits on an 0-1. Breaking ball. Slings in there for a called strike, too.
And he still put a pretty good swing on that. I mean, he flew it out into right field for that out, even after the injury. You could see him hobbling down the base paths, but it's good to know he's okay. Already back in the lineup.
Behind in the count, 0-2. That pitch here misses low and outside. Caden McDonald was his replacement over at first, and the Gatemen glad McHugh was able to take that one-game breather but come back in the lineup, especially without Ty Daly now. Going to need that power replacement middle part of the order. Righty-on-righty matchup and a 1-2 offering. Spoils it foul. Out of play. Over the Gatemen dugout down the first baseline. Out of play. Didn't take long for McHugh to jump out in front in terms of Wareham's home run leaders, where he sits at 2 with Levi Clark now. Another 1-2 pitch. Stays low and outside, 2-2.
Yeah, and today's his 6th game. I mean, the only other person that compares to, have more home runs than him and less than or the same amount of games played, Chris Rembert in Hyannis. He's got 3.
From 0-2 to 2-2 now. That pitch coming here from Davis. Once again, McHugh spoils it out of play over on the right side. In that first game against Harwich, McHugh seemed like he was adjusting a little bit, but then clicked almost immediately. Home runs against YD. Just a couple days later. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. No, he got a foul tip of that one, just barely got a piece of it. As unable to hold on was Aaron Beatty behind home plate. So another foul ball by McHugh.
Yeah, he hit one against YD, then he hit another one against Brewster. That one was 353, 107 off the bat. Just drilled it over into left field.
At first base tonight, and typically where Ty Daly has been, cleanup man, hit that first base spot. Another 2-2 pitch. Roller to the first baseman, Hanley, who gets a high hop. Races McHugh to the bag, but he gets there in time for out number 1.
That had a lot of side spin on it from McHugh there. Nice play from Hanley to be able to glove that over just above his chest and bring it over to the bag. That's a tough play for a lot of first basemen to handle. Did it to perfection.
Brings up the lefty Andrew Kane in his second game as a Gateman, 0 for 4 thus far. Getting the start at third base tonight. Sophomore out of Arizona facing Gabe Davis. First pitch, cut on a miss at a breaking ball, 0-1.
And he had 4 flyouts. It was back against YD over the weekend. It's 4 good swings, and just none of them either left the yard or found a gap. They were all just hit right to somebody.
6'9" righty Davis back to work on the 0-1. Fires in a fastball, high, chopper up the middle, long one from Mendoza. Off balance throw to first is in time. Mendoza ranging to his right, shaded up the middle, made a nice play at first for out number 2. Brings up the hot-hitting Caius Gargett, the start at shortstop tonight. Gargett popped his first homer of the summer Sunday against Orleans, a solo shot, also drove in a run on an RBI. Comes in 296, that homer, 7 RBIs to lead the Gatemen in runs batted in. First pitch he sees, hard hit right at Mendoza at second. Takes a step back, slings it across to first in time for out number 3. Another quick inning for Gabe Davis, 3 up, 3 down in the second. He played an inning and a half here at Veterans Field, no score on Cape League TV.
Getting a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Scoreless through an inning and a half. Gatemen and Anglers tonight on Cape League TV. Logan Baisley back to work in the bottom half of the second. Chase Freilich, Jackson Freeman, Cade Arambidi, 4-5-6 for the Anglers.
2 quick strikeouts for Baisley in that first inning. Back against YD, his last start. Second pitch of the game, home run from Braden Dowd into center field. I mean, definitely a good way to rebound off of that. Now just keep building on that momentum.
The lefty DH Freilich takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball one. Freilich can play mostly catcher first base, the DH tonight out of Auburn, just after his freshman year. Comes in 250 and RBI 6 walks. That second pitch grounded up the middle. Sliding attempt by Turner knocks it down, but nothing more he can do. So Freilich will reach on the game's first hit. Infield base hit right back up the middle.
Turner did all he could, but that ball took a weird bounce off of the pitcher's mound and just kept going out into center. And at that point, it was rolling so slowly that Turner had a weird angle. Would have been a difficult play to come up and throw over to first.
Now just after his freshman season at Northwestern, here's Jackson Freeman, 314 hitter, driven in 2 runs. OPS over 850. First pitch from Bailey. Misses outside, 1-0. Freeman hit 255, 6 homers, 40 RBIs. Scored 32 times for Northwestern this past spring. The right fielder with a runner on at first and no one out. Bottom of the second. 0-0 between the Gatemen and the Anglers. That pitch, fastball that misses low beneath the knees. 2-0. Freeman had 8 RBIs in a game this past spring against Maryland back in March. One of the leading hitters for this Anglers team. 2-0 pitch. It's a high fly ball down the left field line. Breifogel towards the line. Diving attempt. He can't make the play as it lands right inside of the line in fair territory. Hustling to third and sliding in safely is Freilich. Getting to second is Jackson Freeman. And just like that, the Anglers have 2 in scoring position.
The catcher.
Tough play for Breifogel over in left field.
Number 20, Cade Arambidi.
He was chugging toward that line. Cory, definitely something to note. You know, yes, it's a later start time, but it's not the brightest of nights here from Veterans Field. Chatham definitely an area where, you know, fog can play a factor. That's definitely not in the area of visibility difficulties, but it's a very cloudy sky. Could see a lot of balls lost in the air tonight.
Catcher Cade Arambidi swings and misses at that first pitch in the dirt for strike 1. Arambidi, the catcher out of LSU. His first game, first at bat as an Angler. With 2 runners on second and third, no one out. Here in the bottom of the second. Infield back. Baisley's 0-1 on the way. Another swing and a miss, quickly 0-2. And that play by Breifogel, look for a second. Obviously, he had a long way to go right along the left field line. Looked like maybe he overran it a little bit. Yes, Josh said, plenty of overcast skies.
It's pretty windy, too.
Approaching the bottom of the hour. A 7 o'clock start time. Baisley's got a 0-2 count on Arambidi. That pitch, just misses outside, 1-2.
Wind consistently right around 15, 16 miles an hour. Gusts nearly 30. Thankfully, we're not, in the middle of it, right here next to this Chatham press box, but out on the field, different story.
Third baseline. 1-2 pitch fastball at the knees, called strike 3. Big first out of the inning for Baisley. Sets Aaron Beatty down looking.
First baseman from Indiana University, number 34, Jake.
So Jake Hanley, the first baseman who's hitting 161, no homers, 5 RBIs, hitting from the left side. Infield remains back for the Gatemen. They'll concede a run for an out right here. Early in this one, bottom of the second. Runners on second and third. The first pitch to Hanley. Just missed low beneath the knees, and it's 1-0.
These were the spots where Baisley just couldn't make it out of safely against YD in his last start. He's faced a lot of traffic on the base paths in both of those two starts.
1-0 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Rose, and it's 2-0.
Red Sox left a lot of runners on base when they came up to Spillane Field earlier in the season. 3-2 win for the Gatemen in that one, and then 13-7 loss. Baisley conceded a lot of guys on.
3 walks coming into this game for Baisley. 2-0 pitch. Foul tip straight back to the backstop. Gets the first strike on Hanley. Yeah, and Baisley's issue hasn't really been the free passes. Maybe more so in his first start of the summer against YD. Didn't allow any runs in that one, but issued his 3 walks of the summer in that game against the Red Sox. Last time out, it was just they were hitting his stuff.
Yeah, 7 hits.
Not the free passes. Again, hitter's ballpark, no doubt. 2 hits so far tonight here in this inning. Frelick on at third, Freeman on at second. 1 out. 0-0 game and a 2-1 count on Hanley. After the mound visit from Rose, 2-1 pitch here. Fastball gets by Rose to the backstop. Jogging in and scoring is Frelick easily. Freeman up to third. The Anglers strike first, 1-0.
Pitch just got away from Baisley there. We mentioned it, Cory. Walks maybe not necessarily the issue in his last start. Didn't give up a single free pass, but that doesn't mean that control can't be. You can still have some erratic throws.
Wild pitches have been a problem for a lot of teams, Gatemen included. The infield comes in now with the runner on at third. Count to 3-1 on the Indiana product, Hanley. Another pitch that misses low. Rose keeps it in front of him, but a free pass issued to Hanley. So now runners on the corners with 1 away.
Yeah, now the infield moves back out. At least, the corners stay and the middle infield moves out. You have a double play possibility. But you can't really play infield in when you're holding guys on second and on third. Because if anything gets through then, 2 runners score.
Baisley at the very least trying to limit the damage here in the second after a solid first. Couple of hits, now a walk. Runners on the corners for Ashton Larson. Second game as an Angler, 1 for 4 so far this summer. McHugh holds the runner on at first. The third baseman, Kane, is in. First pitch, a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike 1.
You mentioned how he's getting hit. I mean, now through an inning and a third today, he's got 8 innings under his belt so far this summer. He's given up 14 hits.
Middle infield at half depth. Baisley's 0-1. Runner on first starts, then stops. Getting back to first was Hanley. The pitch missed low in the dirt. Rose gloved it. So now 1-1 with 1 away.
Rose hasn't had a whole lot of playing time since Levi Clark and Hunter Carnes arrived late to the scene for Wareham. First game since the 25th.
1-1 pitch now. Fastball up in the zone.
You have to think that Chatham knows that and is maybe going to try and, bait him to throw over to second on a steal, throw over to first, get another run to score.
Another hitter's count for these Anglers batters. 2-1 after that pitch missed high to Ashton Larson. Freeman on at third, Hanley at first. They'll check in with Hanley. Dives back in safely. Larson, the hitter, currently in the portal after 2 years at LSU. Hit .256, 2 homers, 12 RBIs for the Tigers this past spring. Last year, freshman All-SEC. In his second summer now with the Anglers, was their most outstanding player a summer ago after he hit .316. In his sixth at-bat of the summer, another throw over to first, diving back in safely once again, is Hanley. Two and one the count on Larson. Freeman on at third, Hanley at first. Slapped foul down the third baseline and into the Anglers dugout. 2-2 now.
Larson definitely helped out Baisley there. You got 2 strikes. If you can keep something low, he has to protect the plate. Just try and locate something right below the knees, maybe force a rollover, turn 2, get out of the inning.
Already a run in for Chatham. They lead 1-0. Bottom of the second, first and third, 1 away. Now a 2-2 from Baisley, way upstairs. Count moves full. Isaiah Lane, the 9th hitter in the order, waits on deck. And the top of this Chatham order. Baisley got the first 3 outs of the game in the first, just 1 so far in the second. Another throw over to first. And once again, Hanley's back with a dive. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the left fielder, Larson. RBI situation. There goes the runner for second, rolled to the right side and through for a base hit. Jogging home and scoring is Freeman. From first to third goes Jake Hanley. An RBI single for Ashton Larson, 2-0 Anglers.
Now batting for Chatham, the shortstop from the University of
Nice hit from Larson, right through the side, hit and run opportunity. Of course, Turner had to evacuate his spot over on that right side of the infield to try and cover the bag. Left a big hole over into right field.
And it's interesting that Turner would be the man covering second with a lefty at bat. Big K's that, pulls side, and yeah, there is no one home on the right side of the infield. So same situation with another run in. First and third now for Isaiah Lane. Still only 1 out. Righty on righty matchup. Baisley goes with a breaking ball right there for called strike 1. Lane at 189, no homers, 4 RBIs for the shortstop this summer. Kane moves back at third, playing behind the bag. Middle infielder, same thing. McHugh holding Larson on at first. 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, and it's 0-2.
I'm curious how much of a leash Ryan Smythe and Eric Luxus are going to have with Baisley. Over by that Gatemen dugout, could see Hudson Rowan leaving the dugout, moving over down that right field line, likely into the bullpen. He hasn't pitched in a few days, so it would make sense.
Snap. Throw over to first, diving back in safely is Larson. 3 hits already for the Anglers, so once again, the walks haven't been the issue, at least early on for Baisley. He's been getting hit here, though, in the second after a scoreless first. Kicks, fires, 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Lane chased a breaking ball in the dirt. Lane picks up his second strikeout of the inning, and there's 2 away.
Number 37, Henry Ford.
So Baisley has now equaled the amount of strikeouts he had coming into this game here tonight. But now back to the top of this Chatham order. Henry Ford struck out looking to open the home half of the first. First and third, now 2 away, 2 in for the Anglers.
I'm sure it's not going to be much condolence to him if you can't get out of this jam.
Baisley kicks, throws, 0-0 pitch in there with a breaking ball for a called strike 1. Ford hit .362, 11 homers, 46 RBIs for UVA this past spring. You talked about it, Josh. The Gatemen did have the day off yesterday, league-wide, so bullpen arms pretty fresh.
Yeah, everybody's fresh. And, if Rowan, ends up coming into this game any later on, he hasn't pitched in a week now. A little bit less than 6 days.
And now a conversation between Ryan Smythe and the home plate umpire, Mickey Garcia.
Not 100% sure what they were talking about there.
It was the first pitch that was a called strike one. Nothing really eventful transpired. But Smythe back to the dugout. Baisley now back to work, pitching from the stretch. Henry Ford, the batter, first and third, 2 away. 0-1 pitch. Half-hearted swing, they say. Ford held up as they appeal down to first. Mike Rabideau says he did not go around. 1-1 now. Ford, who was ranked the #1 player in the transfer portal, recently committing to Tennessee after the past couple of years at UVA. Runners on the corners, 1-1 pitch to Ford. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. Runner from third scores easily. Larson up to third. Ford digging to second. He's there standing. An RBI for the center fielder. Quickly, 3 runs are in for the Anglers.
This inning's really getting away from Logan Baisley. It didn't start great. The back-to-back hits struck out Aaron Beatty looking. A walk, another single. That's kind of been the story for Wareham this year, is when things go wrong on the mound, it's not necessarily pretty. Like, you can get out of it the next inning, rebound, only give up 1 run, maybe 2 runs. Things have gotten out of hand pretty quickly.
Now it's Gavin Gallagher, who struck out looking in the first pitch swinging. Fly ball out of play down the right field line. And it was a really great start to the game for Baisley. 3 up, 3 down first, including strikeouts. But here in the second, Anglers have 4 hits. 0-1 pitch coming to Gallagher. It's a fastball that misses up and in, 1-1.
You can see the fog starting to roll in here, Cory. Slowly but surely, a little bit. That's the thing with Chatham. You got water everywhere kind of surrounding the park.
1-1 pitch, runners on second and third, fouled straight back. Well, the last game the Anglers played at home was a 2-1 win over Brewster, but it lasted just 4.5 innings. Didn't even finish that 5th inning because of the fog.
Well, that's the benchmark, is that 5 innings. Same as a rain delay or any rain out, quote unquote, in Major League Baseball.
1-2 pitch from Baisley, misses low and inside on a breaking ball.
Obviously very hypothetical, but if they can't complete 5 innings here, the game would get postponed. Anything that happened in innings 1 through 4 would kind of get vanished off the face of the earth. You'd restart the game, but you get to that 5th inning benchmark. Games can go final after that.
Second and third, 2 away. 2-2 pitch, flied into right field. Cruson takes a step back, settles under it, and makes the catch for out number 3. For the Anglers, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 runners left on. They strike first in a big way. We played 2 innings here in Chatham. 3-0 the Anglers lead through 2 on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Chatham Anglers Baseball Club.
After a 3-run second, the Gatemen have some work to do. Trailing by 3 after the Anglers plated 3 on 4 hits in the last of the second. Cruson, Turner, Rose, 7, 8, 9 for the Gatemen. Trying to get back in this one. As we talked about, a little bit of fog rolling in now in the top of the third. 7 o'clock, the first pitch for Wareham and the Anglers. Gabe Davis back to work on the mound. Has yet to allow a base runner. First pitch to Cruson, a called strike one on a breaking ball. And Josh, if this game does end up being shortened, obviously nothing's set in stone, but the Anglers have done what any team would like to do, which is get ahead early.
Those 3 runs in the second inning. It's the same type of situation that it was at Spillane.
0-1 pitch, showing bunt is Cruson. Chops at it, rolls it just foul. So 0-2 on the Gatemen right fielder. Comes in hitting 167. No home runs, 1 RBI. Davis into the wind. 0-2 pitch to Cruson. Laces it foul out in front of it down the first baseline.
4 hits and a walk in that second inning, 2 of them for extra bases. Chatham tagged Logan Baisley, just something clicked. After that after that bottom of the first, top of the lineup for Chatham.
And the Gatemen are certainly, as Cruson gets a new bat, hoping to avoid what happened last time, which is Nate Taylor, the righty out of Georgia, shutting this Wareham offense down.
Well, that was also with 10 strikeouts. But yeah, I mean, 4 perfect innings. That was incredible.
0-2 pitch from Davis. Fastball stays high, and Davis has been strong. 6 up, 6 down across the first 2 innings.
But that's the difference, though, Cory. You know, Davis came in with just 4 innings of Cape experience this season, struck out 7. Today he's only have 1 strikeout through the first 2 innings.
Now a 1-2 to Cruson. In the dirt, 2-2.
It's been 4 groundouts, a flyout, and a strikeout so far for Davis. Relying on his defense a lot more, but getting the same result either way.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Davis winds, fires in the dirt. Hops by the catcher, Aaron Beatty. Now a full count on Cruson with Turner on deck. Davis does have some previous Cape League experience the past 2 summers. Spent 2023 in Chatham, 2024 in Brewster. An 8.10 ERA for the righty last summer, 6.75 2 summers ago. The payoff pitch now coming to Cruson. Gets a piece of it, fouls it straight back.
And he pitched a lot more for Chatham in the summer of 23 than he did in the summer of 24. Just 2 appearances for the Whitecaps. You mentioned the 8.1 ERA, only 3 in the 3rd innings. Chatham had almost 19.
They'll do it again. Another payoff pitch to Cruson. Underneath of it, pokes it out of play down the left field line. And obviously the stuff is there from Davis. Has a fastball that can touch triple digits. Power slider he likes to throw as a wipeout pitch. But the numbers statistically during the spring and summer just have not really been there for him. Full count pitch once again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string on a nice breaking ball. Cruson down swinging, 7 up, 7 down for the Gatemen.
Now batting for Wareham, the second baseman from the University of Michigan, number 14.
So now it's Colby Turner getting the start at second base tonight. Average down at 160, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Kind of been appearing in this Wareham lineup every other day. Hitting 8th tonight in his first at-bat against Davis. First pitch, outside.
And he's played a variety of positions. You know, he's at second today. He's played a couple spots in the outfield as well. Somebody that Smythe can move around, uses a Swiss Army knife. Just got to get that bat going.
Davis is 1-0. Turner lays off of a pitch outside, and it's 2-0 to the righty utility men out of Michigan. Gatemen looking for their first base runner of the night in the top of the third, trailing by 3. No one on, 1 out. 2-0 pitch, fires in a fastball on the outside corner. Strike one.
Tough to hit anything when you can paint a fastball at 94 miles an hour. Davis has his control going early and often today.
Kick steals on the 2-1. Turner swinging at a pitch up above the shoulders. 2 strikes on the righty. The Gatemen hoping these bats at the bottom of the order can break out, all hitting beneath 200. 2-2 pitch. Turner with a weak tapper to second base. Mendoza a few steps in, throws over to first in time for out number 2.
Well, that's how the wins kind of started to pile up for Wareham, in that early, it is still the early portion of the year, but 13 games so far. That 4-game stretch started with YD, 3-2 win. It was the bottom of the lineup that really started to heat up. Everybody at the top was still contributing. Ty Daly in the middle of that order, but then Braden Randall gets hot.
Mac Rose hits a hard 2-hopper to shortstop. Lane fires all the way across in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, go the Gatemen. Davis has retired all 9 batters he's faced so far tonight. Preserves the 0 for the Anglers. Through 2.5, it's all Chatham so far. 3-0, they lead over Wareham.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Back here on Cape League TV alongside Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Approaching the top of the hour, 3-0 the score from Veterans Field in Chatham. The Anglers leading the Gatemen with Logan Baisley back to work after the opposition plated 3 on 4 hits in the bottom of the second.
Freilich and Freeman got it going with back-to-back single and then a double. Wild pitch brought in Freilich. Hanley walked. Larson had a single. Henry Ford an RBI double. When runners get on base, biggest thing for Wareham, really throughout the rest of this game, but also just all season, just stop the bleeding.
First pitch to Mendoza up in the zone. Laid off on the swing, so 1-0 on the Anglers' second baseman. Grounded to second his first time up. Baisley into the windup. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Backing Mendoza up on that breaking ball. Quickly 2-0. This feels like a big inning for Baisley.
You just got to settle back in.
With already 3 runs in the way Davis is dealing for Chatham. Hitting may be scarce throughout this one for Wareham. 2-0 pitch. Fires in a fastball low off of the glove of Mac Rose. So Baisley opens the bottom of the third with 3 balls. Mendoza at .333 with 5 homers, 34 RBIs this past season with Texas. Waiting on a 3-0. Fastball right down the middle for a called strike 1. There is action in the Gatemen bullpen. Right-handers up and throwing. Line didn't fire from Logan Baisley. Misses outside on a fastball. Walks Mendoza on 5 pitches to begin the bottom of the third.
Mendoza was just taking until it was 2 strikes at that point. Didn't even really give an effort to have the bat come off his shoulder. the 3 straight balls. Baisley finally finds his own, so okay, I'll give you that one. Got to do it again, though.
So now it's the DH Freilich who ignited that rally in the second. Leadoff single, scored the game's first run on a wild pitch. Runner on at first, no one out. Bottom of the third, 3-0 Chatham. Lefty on righty matchup. First pitch to Freilich in the second at bat. Baisley stumbled on the delivery. Threw in a slow breaking ball that just missed, but Baisley almost hit the deck on that pitch. Seems to be fine, just lost his footing. So 1-0 the count on Freilich. Fastball misses low. Freilich out of Auburn at .355, 4 homers, 41 RBIs for them. Guy growing up thought he had just as much of a chance to play tennis collegiately as he did baseball. Several Division I offers. Mendoza on at first. Freilich fouls that pitch up over home plate and out of play. So Baisley back in the strike column after the foul ball.
That was pretty close to us, Cory.
Yeah, just over our heads, just to the left of home plate. 2-1 pitch. Misses outside, 3-1. And now the control issues in focus here for Logan Baisley. The leadoff walk to Mendoza, and he's gone 3-1 on Chase Freilich. Former 20th round pick by the Padres in 2024. Up at the plate for the second time. Baisley on 3-1. Another one fouled straight back. This one clips the netting. Count goes full.
Definitely going to be a day where we're going to need to have our heads on a swivel. Not just for us, but all of the equipment here. I mean,
yeah, that right trajectory, if it's high up, skied over the netting, always a chance. Could find us. Runner on at first, no one out. 3-2 pitch. Bounce to the right side. Turner ranging to his left. Fields it cleanly. Throws to second low. Off the glove of Gargett. Kicks away across the infield. So sliding in safely is Mendoza. The Gatemen don't get an out. And now there's 2 runners on with no one away.
That was a tough throw from Turner to try and throw it back all the way across his body. I mean, he was moving over to his left. He was facing his left directionally. The smart play would have been to just get the out at first and concede the lead runner, have him move over to second. But, I mean, he did a complete 180 to try and turn around and just skipped one in the dirt. Not a whole lot of power on that.
Eric Luxus to the mound. Takes the ball from Logan Baisley, who departs this one. Already 3 runs are in on 4 hits for the Anglers. Now 2 runners on, no one out. They look for more in the bottom half of the third. The Gatemen going to the bullpen early in this one. We'll return after the pitching change on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financing journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
At the merch tables on the
The Anglers knocked Logan Baisley out of this game early. Last just 2+ innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Chatham threatening for more runners on first and second, no one out. Jordan Stevens, the righty out of Georgia, replaces Baisley on the mound in his 4th game of the summer. He's thrown 6 innings thus far for Wareham.
Tough outing for Baisley. I'm sure he wanted to go more than just 2+ innings. Chatham was seeing him well, hitting him well. Some of those struggles that kind of plagued him against YD continued. Just getting hit pretty hard. Only the 2 walks, but some stuff to work on his next time out. Stevens started off the season really strong, trying to get back into a rhythm here.
The ERA sits at 6 for the righty out of Georgia.
That's inflated. I mean, when you look at it, his first 4 2/3 innings were pretty much perfect. Just a bad outing against Orleans.
And here it's 2 runners on, no one out. Bottom of the 3rd, his first pitch to Jackson Freeman, who doubled and scored a run in the 2nd, is a fastball that misses low and outside for ball 1. The third baseman, Kane, is in just behind the grass, guarding against a potential bunt. McHugh not holding Freilich on at first. First and second, no one out. 3-0 Chatham, 1-0 delivery from Stevens. A grounder to the right side. It gets through for a base hit. Mendoza's getting the wave around. The play at the plate. The throw is up the first base line. Coming across to score is Mendoza. An RBI single for Jackson Freeman. The Anglers continue to add on more. Now 4-0.
You mentioned McHugh playing off of the first base bag, and even still, Freeman just hit that ball so hard down that gap over in right center that Turner or McHugh just couldn't get there.
Freilich stayed put at second. So first and second. Situation the same for Cade Arambidi. First and second, no one out. Stevens' first pitch to the righty. Breaking ball misses outside. Arambidi struck out looking in his first at-bat as an Angler this summer. Back in the second. Righty on righty matchup. Stevens kicks and fires. Chopped down the third base line. It rolls foul.
A lot of the early season struggles for Chatham, 4-6-3. It's been just on the behalf of not scoring a whole lot of runs, but now up towards that league-leading mark. These last 4 games, 24 total runs.
The offense has definitely come alive. Pitching's been inconsistent as well in the early going. 1-1 pitch from Stevens. Fastball way high. Rose jumps up to glove it. And they're hopeful that a couple of new additions like Arambidi, like Larson, will continue to spur the offense. Arambidi, the 2024 Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. Way late on a fastball. Now 2-2. Arambidi was the #1 high school catcher prospect by MLB.com in the 2024 draft rankings. Just finished his freshman year at LSU. Opted to go there.
He had 14 RBIs and 62 at-bats this past year. Chance for more.
2-2 from Stevens. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blew a high heater by the swinging Arambidi. Set down on strikes for the second time tonight. And the Gatemen finally have an out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jake Hanley hitting from the left side. Walked and scored a run in the second. Runners on first and second for him here. 1 out. 4-0 Chatham. Bottom of the 3rd. Stevens first pitch. Flied into shallow center field. Yost charging. It falls in front of him. Play at third base is going to be cut off with the runners having to hold. Everyone does advance safely. Chatham plays it station to station. Now the bases are loaded with 1 away.
Tough spot for Yost. Didn't get a great read on it. Late jump. By the time he realized it was going to land in front of him, just kind of had to hold up. High risk, low reward situation there. If he, dives at it, yeah, it gets you the second out, but a runner could still advance. That gets by you. Could have a little league home run.
Corners are in here with the bases loaded. One away for Larson. Takes a fastball up and away. Larson an RBI single in the second. Stevens will ask for a new ball and get one from the catcher Rose. And maybe another situation. We talked about the conditions. Overcast skies, a little foggy. Might have impacted Brayfogle in the second. Could have been the same case for Yost now here in the third. Stevens into the game. Facing his fourth hitter. Another shallow fly ball into center. Turner out from his second base spot into a dive. He can't make the catch. A run will come in to score. And the Anglers add another run on a loop base hit into center. And it's all Chatham early on, 5-0.
I mean, there's just nothing that you can really do there if you're Turner. Just a weak flare off the bat of Larson, and it just went into that triangle in right center. That's so difficult to try and get to, whether you're Yost, whether you're Cruzen or Turner. It was a good effort from Turner. I mean, tried to make a catch, basket over his head. Just didn't work.
First pitch now to Isaiah Lane, who struck out in the second. Is a ball low and outside. The base is still loaded. One out. Two more in for the Anglers here in the third. Stevens replacing Baisley out of the bullpen. 1-0 pitch. Up and in on Lane. Moves his hands out of the way, and it's 2-0.
Got nowhere to put him either. Lane drew 3 walks against Wareham in that 9-2 win early on in the season. If he can have that same kind of plate discipline here, could be another run onto the tally for Chatham.
Waits on the 2-0 and fouls it out of play straight back to the right side. A pair of back-to-back bloop hits for the Anglers in the center field. Larson, that most recent one, out of the reach of Turner just barely. Who had to range all the way out from his second base spot. Yost wouldn't have been able to get there in time. Corner infielders are in. McHugh at first, Kane at third. Middle infielders are back. 2-1 pitch with the bases loaded, found straight back. Stevens in relief got the first out of the third inning, but has surrendered 3 hits as well. Baisley, the final line, 2 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Bases are loaded. 1 out, last of the third. 2-2 pitch from Stevens. Fastball grounded hard down the third base line. It's fair and rolling into the corner. 1 run scores. Around third is Hanley. He will score as well. The Gatemen get the ball in. Not before Lane reaches second. Larson up to third. A 2 RBI double for the shortstop. It's 7-0 Chatham.
Just situational hitting for Chatham. Grounder right down the line. It's a tough break. There's really not a whole lot you can do.
Again with the drawn-in infield. New arm for the Gatemen, same result for Chatham. They continue to swing the bats. They're up to 8 hits. The entire Gatemen infield comes in here, second and third, 1 away for the top of the order, and Henry Ford, who goes the other way, loops a base hit into right field. Larson scores easily. Lane right behind him. He scores as well. This Anglers hitting machine continues to churn up to a 9-run Chatham lead.
And there's still just 1 out here in the third. Aaron Beatty struck out swinging. Other than that, 1 walk, 6 hits.
And another tough break in terms of contact for the Gatemen with the infield.
It's not that high of exit velocity, Corey.
That ball landed on the infield dirt, but again, with Turner drawn in, it was over his head. And now Lux is out to the mound to talk things over with Stevens.
But that's baseball at the end of the day. I mean, you can hit it 110 miles an hour, but it could be right to the shortstop, right to the third baseman, right into the outfield. Or you can hit it, 65 miles an hour off the bat, and it lands in the right center field gap. I mean, it's just kind of how it works. There's nobody up in the Wareham bullpen. This is Stevens' inning as it stands right now. Nobody's, even getting loose to kind of ease Stevens out of this game. And I'm sure that's what Luxus is telling him. He says, hey, we're relying on you here. Find a way, no matter how it is, just get out of this inning.
And this was the last thing Wareham was expecting or wanting after a gritty 6-4 win over Orleans Sunday. Had the day off yesterday. All of a sudden they get ambushed for 9, not even through 3 innings. Haven't gotten a hit. Haven't gotten a base runner. And it's all Chatham as they continue to threaten for more. As Josh said, still just 1 out. It's Henry Ford, the runner, on at second. Gavin Gallagher, who is 0 for 2. The Anglers are batter away from batting around here in the third. First pitch to Gallagher, misses low in the dirt, ball 1.
Well, barring a double play, it's going to end up happening. Mendoza started it all off with a walk, and the rest was history.
Gallagher and Aaron Beatty, the only 2 Anglers not to reach base so far tonight. 1-0 from Stevens. Fastball backs Gallagher off the plate, and it's 2-0. Ford into his lead at first. Stevens kicks and fires on the 2-0. This breaking pitch misses outside, and it's 3-0 with Mendoza on deck. Now. Line drive, leaping attempt by Turner at second. It's over his head and into right field. Ford makes the turn. He's headed for third. The throw there is on the money. Tag applied. Ford is out. So the hits keep coming, but the good news for the Gatemen, they get a big second out.
Chase Cruson just delivered a missile.
The second baseman from the University of Texas, number 5.
Perfect throw on the money. That is a huge out here in the third.
And the Anglers have officially batted around now with Mendoza digging in the batter's box for the second time this inning. 3 runs in the second for the Anglers, now 6 in the third.
I mean, almost any other right fielder, any other outfielder is over and right for Wareham, and Henry Ford is on third, and Chatham has runners on the corners with 1 out.
Mendoza swings at that first pitch off of Stevens on the mound. Gargett tries to sling it across to first, does, and it's on the money. Credit to Gargett staying with that one. After the redirection, gets the out at first. 2 nice defensive plays and the inning for the Gatemen, but not before 6 more come in to score for Chatham. All Anglers through 3 innings, 9 runs, 10 hits, and a 9-0 lead over Wareham here at Veterans Field on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Through 3 innings here at Veterans Field, it's been all Anglers baseball. 10 hits, 9 runs. Not a single Gateman batter has reached first. Back to the top of the order, second time through the lineup. Back alongside Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller. This offensive showcase from the Anglers wouldn't be as big of a problem if the Gatemen were hitting so far, but Gabe Davis has been locked down on the mound, did have to wait for a long time after that third inning.
Well, he's faced the minimum so far, but you said it. You know, sometimes sitting can get you out of that rhythm that you've created for yourself.
First pitch is a breaking ball at the knees, called strike one on Hayden Yost.
But now you have the top of the order, Yost, Clark, Breifogel. Clark, the strikeout, but I mean, those are three bats that have been getting hot at the right time, producing a lot for Wareham lately.
A one pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. Sangler's team came into this one again at 4-6-3, bottom of the East Division, but playing like one of the best teams in the Cape so far tonight. Doing it on all three sides of the ball. 1-1 pitch to Yost. Fastball, misses just low, in and out of the glove of Aaron Beatty. And it's 2-1 on the Gateman center fielder. Some of these players yesterday from both of these teams all across the Cape played in a Cape League All-Star game against the MLB Draft League All-Stars. As Davis kicks, fires on a 2-1 pitch. Yost taking outside, and it's 3-1.
All right, get ahead, stay ahead. From a hitter's perspective, just get on base. Yost, please.
Would be the first Gateman to do so. Waiting
There
on a
it
3-1 pitch, taking low, ball 4.
There it is.
There is that first base runner, something the Gatemen will need plenty of, at the very least, to claw back into this one.
The designated hitter, number 26, Levi Clark.
9 up, 9 down until Hayden Yost began this top of the fourth with the walk. Now here is Levi Clark, who did partake in that All-Star game against the MLB Draft League yesterday. Him and Ty Dowley, the two Gatemen position players to take part. First pitch to Clark in his second at-bat, taking outside on a fastball. 1-0. Clark struck out back in the first.
You mentioned getting to go down, play against the Draft League. That was down at Citi Field. Clark loved it. Said going to play at a Major League park, it's a blessing.
Waiting on the 1-0 pitch now. Before that, Yost dives back in safely on the pickoff attempt. Yeah, the Draft League took that game 10-6. Dowley and Clark each had 2 at-bats, drew 2 walks between the two of them. Clark scored a run. Patrick Alley, Jacob Faulkner, the 2 pitchers that went to that game for the Gatemen. Another pickoff attempt at first. Once again, Yost back in with a dive.
How many Major League parks have you been to, Cory?
4.
4?
4.
Which
And you?
one? I think 3. I think only 3.
Pitch to Clark, fouled straight back. I've been to Yankee Stadium, Citizens Bank Park, Fenway, and Camden Yards.
Okay. I've been to Yankee Stadium, Fenway, and Citi Field.
Okay. It was definitely tempting for us to go down to Citi Field. Would
We
have been
thought
a first-time
about it,
experience,
yeah.
but that turnaround time.
It's a
day
long
later.
drive,
Yep.
yeah.
1-1 that count on Levi Clark. Runner on at first, no one out. Third straight pickoff attempt of the inning, but once again, Yost dives back in safely.
That would have been cool for you to see Citi Field for the first time.
It would have been.
You know they have the new Jumbotron in
No.
center field? Oh, so, it was still pretty big. Obviously, most Jumbotrons are, but, I mean, this thing is massive. It is a huge screen in center field. I don't know how whoever's hitting doesn't get distracted by it.
1-1 now to Clark. Misses in the dirt, ball 2. Well, and it's a pretty cool experience, as you said, Levi Clark talked about, but most of these guys have now been to 2 ballparks, or not most, some of them have been to 2 ballparks in a couple weeks. Fenway Day for the Cape League teams, and then a handful of these guys playing at Citi Field. Clark has worked the count to 2-1. That pitch coming late on a fastball and fouls it out of play in the air down the right field line.
And, even Fenway Day, you get to see the behind the scenes, take batting practice, everything like that. But, I mean, getting to play a game at a Major League park, playing a game at Citi Field, especially, the Mets are good. It's definitely something that could, be a core memory for a lot of these guys. Is my summer on the Cape, I got to play at a Major League stadium when I was, 20-something years old.
Against some of the best of the best. Runner on at first, no one out. 2-2 pitch to Clark. Fastball just misses outside. Clark has worked the count full. Easton Breifogel on deck. Gatemen at the very least hoping to get a little, if not a lot, of those runs back here in the fourth. Trailing 9-0 through 3 innings. Runner on at first, no one out. Full count pitch to Levi Clark. Takes low and outside on the slider. Back-to-back walks to start this top of the fourth. Some good at-bats. And just like that, the Gatemen have 2 runners on.
Wareham's being a lot more patient so far in this inning than, they had been in the previous 3. Davis now up to 46 pitches. He worked 2 walks, both of them being on full counts. I mean, you're never going to get 9 runs back in a swing. It's rare that you'll get even half of that back in an inning. But if you're Ryan Smythe, you just have to tell these guys, just string together good at-bats, and you got to live with the outcome no matter what it is. And so far, that's exactly what Wareham has done. Walks from Yost and Clark. You got 2 on and nobody out. And at least puts Breifogel now in a position to, try and at least get one of those runs back. And then maybe the next inning you do the same, you get 1 or 2, and you just got to keep building and building and building from there.
Jay Powell, the pitching coach for Chatham, talking things over with Davis. As we said, had that long layover. Issued 2 walks, but he's still been around the plate. Some good at-bats by the Gatemen hitters. Now Breifogel, who lined to left his first time up. Second game as a Gateman. And he was putting on a clinic in batting practice. Ended 1 round, 3 straight homers to right field. Almost hit a few of the cars parked behind the outfield grass over the fence.
That's a long way.
2 runners on for him, no one out. Top of the fourth, Gatemen trail by 9. First pitch to Breifogel, fastball low and inside corner. Davis finds it, called strike 1.
Well, he's got the power. He had 15 extra base hits at Arizona this past year. Had a triple. He's got the speed, too. Had a triple against Orleans back on Sunday.
In his first game with the Gatemen, in a perfect world, he comes in and replaces the production of Ty Daly in that 3 spot. 0-1 pitch to him. Chops that one right behind home plate, 0-2. Obviously, it might be tough to do that given how productive Ty Daly was. Team's leader in games, at-bats, doubles. Consistent force for the Gatemen, but Breifogel started hot, 2 for 3 in that first game, as you mentioned, the triple. He certainly has the talent hitting from the left side. 0-2 pitch to him with 2 runners on. Big swing and a miss. It gets by the catcher, Aaron Beatty, jogging down to first and reaching on the drop third strike was Breifogel.
All right.
Now he's heading back to the dugout.
For Wareham, the first baseman, number 36, Chris McHugh.
It looked like it dropped third strike by Aaron Beatty behind home plate. Breifogel took off for first. Both runners advanced to second and third. But Breifogel went back to the dugout. Now Aaron Beatty talking things over with Davis on the mound. They charge a pass ball to Aaron Beatty behind home plate. But nonetheless, Breifogel retired. Both runners do advance, so it's second and third for McHugh now. The Gatemen looking to get on the board for the first time tonight here in the fourth. First pitch to McHugh in this at-bat. Pops it foul out of play down the first base line.
When you strike out, Cory, and you have a guy on first base already, the runners can advance on the wild pitch, but you yourself are not eligible to move down to first. Just one of those situations that can get a little confusing.
Yeah, Breifogel took off trying to reach first. Both runners did advance. 0-1 pitch to McHugh. Chops it foul.
Yeah, he's going to need a new bat after that. Shattered his piece of wood there. Only the handle left.
So it's quickly 0-2 on McHugh as Davis looks to pitch out of the top of the fourth. Issued walks to Yost and Clark, who advance on the strikeout by Breifogel, both in scoring position now for Wareham. McHugh grabs a new bat. Grounded out to first back in the second. Now here is second plate appearance. 2 quick strikes on 2 foul balls by the Gatemen first baseman.
Be really impressive if Davis can get out of this inning. Doesn't give up a run.
Infield is back for the Anglers. 0-2 pitch from Davis. That one hard hit, foul ball. And it struck the Gatemen first base coach, Rocco DiPietro.
You got to be quicker than that, Rocco. I mean, just couldn't get out of the way there.
Off a couple of hops, hit him, looks like right in the leg. Seems to be fine. We'll do it again on 0-2, 1 away. First and second for the Gatemen. Pitch from Davis. Line drive into center field for a base hit. Yost scores from third. Levi Clark gets the hold sign applied. Ball gets loose coming back into the infield, so McHugh jogs up to second. First hit, first run of the evening for the Gatemen. Now down by 8, it's 9-1.
That's all you can really ask for at this stage in the game. Just string together some good at-bats. McHugh scored that one up, drove it into shallow center field. Sometimes just getting that first run of the game can mean all the difference to a team offensively. Now you're in a spot where McHugh moves over to second. You got 2 back in scoring position.
Second and third, 1 away for Andrew Kane now. Grounded out. His only other at bat tonight. Swings to that first pitch, pops it foul down the third base line, out of play. The third baseman, Gallagher, just behind the grass. Rest of the infield for Chatham is back. Obviously, at this point, outs more important than runs when you're up by 8. And McHugh's hit the first of the night for the Gatemen. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Wareham so far tonight. In the top of the fourth now. Davis kicks and fires. Kane takes outside. 1-1 on the Wareham third baseman. Kane at 247, 6 homers, 22 RBIs this past spring for Arizona. Rated the number 2 third baseman in Arizona by Perfect Game. Can play a variety of spots. He's at the hot corner here tonight, waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Another fastball that misses just outside, 2-1.
Yeah, he was in left field back over the weekend on Saturday against YD. Had a couple nice plays, 2 diving catches.
Had to adjust to a switch to first base a little bit during the collegiate season. Played center field in high school as well. Davis back to work on the 2-1 now. Popped foul out of play by Kane down the third base line. That run that came in, the first run that has scored against Davis this summer. So far tonight, 3 1/3 innings pitched. 2 walks, just 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and the 1 earned run. Second and third, 1 out. Top of the fourth. Gatemen looking for more, trying to get back in this game. 2-2 to Kane. Slap the opposite way. It finds a patch of grass in left field for a base hit. Clark jogs home from third. McHugh replaces him there. An RBI base hit for Andrew Kane. And it's now 9-2.
Yeah, if you're going to give it, then you got to be able to take it at the same time. It's the same type of hit that Chatham was getting back in that third inning. An exit velocity of just 61, Cory. No one's going to complain about that flare from Kane. Second run of the day for Wareham. You still have guys on the corners with 1 out. And a big spot for Gargett, who hit a homer in his last game.
Runners on the corners, 1 away for the Gatemen shortstop. Grounded to second his first time up. First pitch of this at-bat. Heater up in the zone, swing and a miss. McHugh on at third, singled, advanced to second on the throw. Moved up another 90 feet on the base hit by Kane, who's on at first. Gargett, who leads this Gatemen team in RBIs, throw over to first. Kane back with the dive. Ryan Smythe talked about after the win over Orleans how Gargette's won at this point several games for Wareham. Was 4 for 5 in that win over Hyannis now, a week or two ago. Drove in a couple of runs. Now up to 7 RBIs. Again, first on this Wareham team. Runners on the corners for him, 9-2 Chatham. Pitch clock winding down. Got to 0. First violation on Davis here tonight. So an automatic ball applied to the count. 1-1 on Gargett.
You're in a spot now, less than 2 outs, runner 90 feet away. Just think about getting him in. That's all that has to be on Gargette's mind here.
Waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Swinging here, roller to shortstop. Lane flips to second for one, back to first. It's a double play. A 6-4-3 inning-ending double play gets Davis out of any more trouble. But not before the Gatemen get on the board. A pair of walks, a pair of base hits. And the Gatemen play 2 to get on the board. Still trail by 7 through 3.5 at Veterans Field in Chatham. The Anglers up over the Gatemen on Cape League TV.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Gatemen get on the board in the top of the 4th, play 2 runs. Still a 7-run deficit here from Veterans Field, back here on Cape League TV. With Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller. Jordan Stevens back to work. Got the call out of the bullpen midway through the 3rd. 4 earned runs came in against him, total of 6 for the Anglers. First pitch of this at-bat against Chase Freilich. Misses outside for ball 1.
If you're going to come back and have a chance to win this game, or at least continue to make the score more and more respectable, you have to do it when you're in the field as well. Need a big inning from Stevens.
Stevens fires on the 1-0. High fly ball just onto the outfield grass. Calling everyone off is Gargett. Twisting and turning makes the catch for a quick out, number 1 in the bottom of the 4th.
That can get a little tricky with some of those high twisting fly balls, especially as they move into the outfield. It's a pretty cloudy night, Cory. We talked about that. Good job from Gargett to maintain his concentration, his focus over at short, and make the grab.
Brings up Jackson Freeman, a double and a single. He scored twice, also driven in a run. Came into this game hitting .314. One of the hottest Angler bats has only continued that trend here tonight. Stevens, first pitch of this at-bat. In there for a called strike 1 at the knees. Freeman hitting .500 over the past week. The team leader in batting average and OPS. 0-1 pitch, fastball that misses outside. 1-1. Stevens into the wind. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball just misses low and outside for ball 2.
With that big inning from Chatham, Baisley's line officially closed. 2 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. ERA now up to 9.35, jumped from 6.7.
2-1 pitch, hard hit up the middle. Turner ranging, backhanded, off-balance throw to first. Dug out by McHugh. What a play on both ends to get the second out of the inning.
It's athletic from Colby Turner there. Had to flip around, make the grab. It's a good play up the middle. It's kind of ranging over back to second base. Flipped, made the grab. 2 outs here in the 4th.
For the catcher, Aaron Beatty, who has struck out twice so far in his Angler debut, the only Chatham player not to reach base safely so far tonight. Quick start to the inning for Jordan Stevens, as he'll now have a conversation with Mac Rose on the mound.
He was the only Angler player to not reach base safely in the 3rd inning.
Third inning. That was the kind of frame it was for the Anglers offensively. Rose and Stevens just finished talking things over. Now Luxus and the home plate umpire Mickey Garcia having a conversation. Now Garcia is going to call the first and third base umpires in. And it looks like the 3 of them are going to have a discussion. It was the pitching coach Luxus that initiated this conversation. A quick discussion between the umpires. Luxus goes back to the dugout.
That's at the lower level of the press box, the merge table.
And now Dennis Cook, the Chatham manager, gets an explanation from Mickey Garcia.
It looked like, just based on the explanation from Garcia, is that Luxus was questioning, the timing that the Angler batter was going to have to maintain eye contact with Stevens to initiate the start of Stevens being able to throw.
Everything seems to be resolved as Aaron Beatty swings and misses that first pitch breaking ball in the dirt, 0-1.
You still have to be engaged with the pitcher, by a certain time, so Stevens has ample time to deliver a pitch before the clock runs out.
Stevens 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball. 2 straight swinging strikes, and it's 0-2. Stevens and the Gatemen in search of a bounce-back inning on the mound. He's retired their first 2 hitters. Ahead in the count, 0-2 on Aaron Beatty. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball, dips low and inside. This game tonight kick-starts a stretch of 6 straight for the Gatemen without a day off. After the off day yesterday, Stevens back to work now on the 1-2 pitch. Fastball way high.
Be the longest stretch of the season so far.
And part of the reason why you'd want to set the tone with a win here tonight against Chatham. You have a back-to-back against division rival Bourne. Thursday, Friday, home and away. 2-2 now. Just getting a piece of that breaking ball was Aaron Beatty. Count stays even at 2-2.
Yeah, it was 4 and then a day off for Fenway Day. But, I mean, you could ask anybody. That probably didn't feel like a day off. And then another 4.
Commute there. It probably didn't feel like a day off for Levi Clark yesterday going down to Shea Stadium. But obviously one of just 4 Wareham players to make that trip. We'll do it again on 2-2. No one on, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stevens sets down Aaron Beatty on strikes. A clean inning for the righty. 3 up, 3 down. Much needed clean sheet on the mound for Jordan Stevens and the Gatemen. We played 4 here in Chatham, 9-2. The Anglers lead.
A good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Gabe Davis's day is done on the mound for the Anglers. Gives way to Mason Peters, lefty out of Dallas Baptist. Peters has made 2 appearances this summer, both of which are starts. Has gone 7 innings, ERA just under 8. And he'll face 2 lefties due up for the Gatemen.
So when you look at Gabe Davis now through 2 appearances this summer, 1 out of the bullpen, 1 start today, 8 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. Or I'm sorry, 10 strikeouts. He had 7 strikeouts his first time. ERA at 2.25. He certainly did his job for what he was asked out of Chatham. His offense gave him a lot of support. Now it'll be up to Peters to try and build off of what Davis was doing those first 3 innings.
And Oklahoma State, the Anglers are hoping that Davis has really finally found that groove. Guy who's projected to be a top 3-round pick, if not a first-round pick. Again, has struggled statistically, but so far this season in 2 starts has been strong. Departs with this team up by 7, 9-2. Cruson leads things off for the Gatemen, takes a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Cruson, Turner, Rose, again a pair of lefties. Turner the righty, sandwiched in between Cruson and Rose. 9-2, the lead for Chatham, top of the 5th here on Cape League TV. 0-1 pitch to Cruson, lays off a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1.
It might be the bottom of the lineup, but this is a great chance to just keep building that momentum from the 4th. You got 2 runs there, lead down to 7. Slowly but surely, just keep grinding away at bats.
1-1 pitch on the way to Cruson, swing and a miss at a fastball. And it's 1-2. Cruson the strikeout in the 3rd, his 2nd at bat here. Gatemen trail by 7 in the 5th. 1-2 pitch, line drive into left center field for a base hit. Cruson leads off the top of the 5th with the base hit. The Gatemen now up to 3 on the game. Good start to the 5th.
Cruson just kind of threw his bat at that one. He had to defend in the count and then just delivered a flare over into left center. Got over Lane's head at short. Good way to get the leadoff guy on for the 2nd straight inning.
Brings up Turner, grounded to 2nd. First time up to the plate. Lefty on righty here. First pitch to Turner's a fastball down in the zone for ball 1. If there's any way the Gatemen can try and get back into this game, facing that 9-run deficit, it's chipping away. They started a little bit in the 4th, but still a long ways to go. And leadoff base runners certainly help. Cruson in the lead at first. That pitch coming home to Turner is popped foul over the netting and out of play. Cruson does lead this Gatemen team in stolen bases. 5 coming into the game today, leading off of first. And at the plate, the Gatemen are hoping Colby Turner can replicate some of the batting magic he had in the first 2 games this season. 1 on, no one out, and a 1-1 pitch to Turner. Fastball misses high. Peters has surrendered 11 hits, allowed 6 runs so far this summer. First inning out of the bullpen. Throws back over, Cruson back standing. First time he has pitched out of the bullpen. Again, 2 starts so far this summer. 4.25 ERA for him at Dallas Baptist. In 20 appearances, just 4 starts for him this past spring. The 1-1 pitch, 2-1 pitch that is, to Colby Turner, fouled straight back out of play. Peters looks in. Looking at Cruson on first. Kicks and comes home. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball locks up Turner for a called strike 3.
Turner was sitting on that fastball, got fooled by the breaking ball. Good misdirect there from Peters. Get that first out.
So now here's the lefty Mac Rose, 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out, who just announced his transfer to Dallas Baptist, going from Vanderbilt to Dallas Baptist. Future teammate against future teammate as Rose swings at that first pitch and pokes it out of play. Makes the seats. Rose has struggled, came into this game just hitting .063. And part of that catcher rotation we'll probably continue to see at bats, but the Gatemen are waiting for that bat to get going. Hitting 9th tonight, waiting on the 0-1. That one's off the glove of Aaron Beatty. Quickly down to second, scurries Chase Cruson.
And it's pretty out of character, for Mac Rose to be struggling this much at the plate. This is a guy this past season at Vanderbilt. He reached base safely in 22 straight games. He's drawn a few walks. On-base percentage came in over 200, but just bat-on-ball skills have not been there so far this summer. Hit .250 for the Commodores this spring.
1-1 pitch, lefty-on-lefty matchup, and a fastball that misses inside for ball 2. The Gatemen still have faith in him, obviously. He was hitting towards the top of the lineup early the first 2 games of the season, with Levi Clark behind home plate. Under Carnes as well, you have a solid mix of catchers. Runner on at second, 1 out, 2-1 pitch, a foul ball off of the catcher Aaron Beatty, so the count moves to 2-2.
Well, he's had a lot of time off. His last appearance came on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, that was, the 25th, against Orleans, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts.
And obviously, the Gatemen haven't played catchers back-to-back games behind the dish at all this season, but if Rose can't hit, Carnes and Clark will primarily be that rotation mix. 2-2 pitch. Clark just gets a piece of it and spoils it foul down the first base line.
Well, especially, Clark, he's DHing tonight, but he's played left field a couple times as well. You have that diversity from the catcher position. Rose played left field also, when you try and fit his bat in, but he's got to start swinging it pretty well if you want to fit his bat in somewhere else if you want either Carnes or Clark behind the plate.
They'll do it again on 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Aaron Beatty, but couldn't recover. Lost track of the ball. Cruson moves up to third.
Heads up base running from Cruson. You mentioned leads the team in stolen bases, but hasn't had to, do that here. Really just on his own quick reaction time. Difficulty for Aaron Beatty behind home plate, fielding the ball.
So Rose has worked the count full. There's a runner on at third. That's Cruson after the leadoff base hit. Just 1 out, top of the 5th. Payoff pitch to Rose. Chopper to the left side, fielded by the shortstop Lane. His throw to first is low, picked out of the dirt by Hanley. Cruson comes in to score. The Gatemen get a run. It's a 6-run game here in the 5th, now 2 away.
Trade the out for the run at this point. Now you're only down by 6. 2 straight innings. You get one across. Turn it back over to the top of the order.
Another lefty on lefty matchup.
Just got to keep chipping away.
Yost, who scored in the 4th on a walk. First pitch fastball in there for a called strike 1. So Rose retired at first, but we talked about did a productive job there to drive in his first RBI of the summer on the ground out. 6-run game here at Veterans Field. No one on, 2 away for Hayden Yost. Just got a piece of that pitch in and out of the glove of Aaron Beatty, so it's quickly 0-2 on Yost. Chatham plated 3 in the 2nd, 6 in the 3rd, up to 10 hits. The Gatemen bats came alive a little bit after Davis posted zeros 1st, 2nd, 3rd inning. He's out of the game now. Peter's in. He's allowed the 1 earned run to score so far in the 5th. No one on, 2 away. And now an 0-2 pitch to Hayden Yost. Weak tapper to 2nd. Shading over, making the play. Firing to first in time was Mendoza to retire Hayden Yost. The Gatemen get another run. The RBI ground up by Mac Rose. Plates Chase Cruson. Still trailing by 6 through 4.5. You're listening to all the action on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
The Gatemen trail 9-3. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Before we resume the action on the field, we'll send it over to Rayna Maggelet.
Thanks, Cory. So the Gatemen are back to regular season play with a 6-game stretch starting against the Chatham Anglers here at Veterans Field. Despite a recent loss, the Anglers have a strong offense demonstrated in their previous 9-2 win against the Gatemen on June 16th. This poses a challenge, though the Gatemen have evolved severely since their first encounter at the very start of the season.
Rayna, thank yous. The count is 0-1 on Jake Hanley. 7-8-9. Jordan Stevens still in the game for his 3rd inning of work. It is that 9-3 Chatham lead. It's an 0-1 pitch from Stevens that backs Hanley off at the plate. And it certainly doesn't feel like really a new game against the Anglers. It was that 9-2 victory last time against Wareham. Here tonight it's 9-3. The offense for the Anglers has been there, and the pitching's backed them up. Stevens gets the sign, raises the glove, kick steals, 1-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball.
Still no activity over in that Gateman bullpen. Definitely relying on Stevens here to kind of carry over that momentum from the 4th inning, keep Chatham off the board, keep the deficit to just 6.
It was a 3-up, 3-down 4th inning for him. 1-2 pitch now here in the 5th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 straight fastballs up in the zone, 2 straight swinging misses from Hanley. He's retired to begin the last of the 5th.
The left fielder from LSU, number 44, Ashton Larson.
Brings up Larson, who is 2 for 2, a pair of singles tonight. First pitch here from Stevens. Weak number to the right side of the infield. Turner charges off of his glove, and he can't recover. It hit the lip of Turner's glove, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Larson reaches with one away.
That was going to be a really tough play from Turner either way. Just a slow roller over to him, had to try and charge it. By the time he got that in his glove, tried to transfer it, and then deliver a throw over to first, it wasn't going to be easy. Just kind of left it on the ground, couldn't get his glove.
Scored as an error. 0-0 pitch now to Lane, the ninth hitter in the order. Is a fastball that misses outside. Turner's been charged for 2 errors tonight. The one on the throw on that fielder's choice, all the way back in the third on a bang-bang play. So 2 really tough plays that just haven't gone the Gatemen's way. 1-0 pitch. That one up and in, and it clips Isaiah Lane. So an error and a hit by pitch, and now 2 runners are on for the Anglers for the top of the order and Henry Ford.
And with that, now there's some activity over for the Gatemen down the right field line. It's a lefty, looks like Hudson Rowan, excuse me.
After a scoreless inning in the fourth, the Anglers looking to respond with some more runs after the Gatemen have scored 3 unanswered. First and second, 1 out for the righty hitting Ford. Has 2 hits tonight, including a double. Takes a first pitch fastball in for a called strike 1. Stevens checks the runner at second and comes home on the 0-1. Breaking ball, misses just low. Rayna kind of mentioned how this is somewhat of a new-look Gatemen team from the third game of the season, but a lot of that comes in the sense that they've lost one of their key bats in Ty Daly, as we've mentioned throughout this broadcast. 1-1 pitch to Ford, behind on a fastball. Foul tip straight back.
Yeah, only 4 of the guys in the Gatemen lineup today played back in that game of the season against Chatham early on.
And it's one guy who you lose, but was a guy who obviously produced a lot offensively, defensively, but just in terms of what he provided as well in the dugout for this team, big part of this Gateman identity, especially when you play every single day. 1-2 pitch now to Ford. Swinging to that breaking ball down in the zone, skies it out of play.
You've seen Moneyball, right, Cory?
I have.
Okay, well, you know what, I mean, you mentioned, Bry Fogel replacing him. You know what I'm going to say.
Recreate him in the aggregate.
You got to recreate him in the aggregate. Maybe Bry Fogel and Kane can do just that. 2 newest additions offensively.
Well, and that's the thing. It's tough to ask one guy to do that, replace that kind of production, but certainly Bry Fogel, Kane have the skill set to do that. 1-2 pitch. Ford takes. That one's off of the glove of Rose. Travels all the way back to the backstop. Easy advance. Larson up to third, Lane up to second, both in scoring position now.
Well, Kane has a hit today. Bry Fogel had 2 on Sunday. He also drew a walk. Gets on base. Isn't that right?
Daly certainly did. He came close to popping a home run throughout several contests, but it was the extra base hits. He had 4 doubles, triple.
He had that triple over into right center. Back at Spillane Field. That was a close one. That one nearly got out just off that top of the wall.
Foot away.
Yeah.
And the way Bry Fogel was taking BP the past couple games, he has got the power. There's no doubt about that one.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
The infield comes in for the Gatemen. 2-2 the pitch to Henry Ford. 2 runners on. Gets underneath of it. Lifts a pop up. Off of the mound. Instead, it's McHugh making the call and the catch. About 15 feet away from home plate. McHugh coming in to make the grab. Stevens gets a big second out as Ford's retired via the pop out.
How huge is an unproductive out right there? Smart decision for McHugh to call off Stevens on the mound, take that himself. You get that second out, runners stay where they are. Just focus on Gallagher here and get out of this inning.
As it stands, it's a 9-3 game. Runners on second and third, now 2 away for Stevens. And it's third inning of work out of the bullpen. First pitch to Gallagher. Fastball. Misses the plate inside. A strikeout, flyout, and base hit for the Anglers' third baseman so far tonight. Mickey Garcia and Jordan Stevens having a brief discussion. Could go back to what we talked about last inning.
He's also thrown away a couple baseballs that he didn't like. Might be that. Garcia's starting to run out.
To 1-0 to Gallagher. In there for a called strike one. The Gatemen coming into this game, ideally trying to escape with the W to get back to 500 in a crowded West Division right now. Big swing and a miss at a fastball in the zone 1 and 2. You're right there with Falmouth, who's at 6 and 7. Bourne just behind them at 4 and 8, 4-8 and 1, and then Katuitt at 3-9 and 1. All behind Hyannis at 8-4 and 1. So the Gatemen at the very least trying to separate themselves in that second spot in the division, gain ground on Hyannis, but they trail by 6 here. 1-2 pitch. Misses way outside. Rose able to glove it, and it's 2-2.
Just a scoreboard watch a little bit. Falmouth up 8-6 in the top of the 9th against Bourne, so just 3 outs away from locking down a win over there. Also notably, more notably in the East than it is the West, but YD, winning streak is over at 9. Katuitt beats him 8-2.
As Stevens fires in a breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. Gallagher set down. Stevens out of trouble. The Anglers leave runners on second and third. Can't cash them in. They're still up by 6. Josh Richardson will have you the rest of the way on Cape League TV. We've played 5 innings, 9-3. The Chatham lead over Wareham.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
A-Plus repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Second half of this one from Veterans Field. It was a tough start for the Gatemen. 3 runs in the second for Chatham, 6 in the third for the Anglers. The Gatemen responded with 3 in the fourth and fifth. Lead cut down to 9-3 entering the top half of the sixth. Mason Peters remains on the mound. Lefty on righty, 2-3-4 in the Gatemen lineup. Clark, Breifogel, and McHugh. Peters delivers a first pitch fastball that misses outside.
The approach for the Gatemen want to keep it the same. The body language has been pretty positive despite trailing by 9. They've chipped away, got a few runs. Hope that trend continues here.
1-0, skied in the air. Deep toward right field. That's back at the track, and that's up over the wall. Home run, Levi Clark. And a solo shot brings the Gatemen within 5.
Josh, from our vantage point, off the bat, that looked like a really routine fly ball to right field. The ball's not particularly carrying tonight. We talked about the lower temperatures, overcast skies. I think a lot of that speaks to the power of Levi Clark. Obviously, that ball had some carry on it.
Well, it's only 3-14 out to right. First pitch misses outside for Breifogel. That's the second time in 2 games that Clark has delivered an opposite field home run to a pretty shallow right field. 1-0, fouled off into the night down the third baseline.
And the pitches were fairly similar down in the zone. Clark just went down and got him, and he got under them quite a bit. And off the bat, you didn't think maybe they'd clear the fence, but it keeps going back and back and back. And sure enough, he's got that power.
I mean, it just kept carrying. Freeman was out and right, and he was ready. 1-1 swung on and missed by Breifogel. He was ready to kind of catch that before the ball got to the track. Then he stepped back onto the warning track, looked up, and it was over the wall. There was nothing he could do. 3 straight innings with a run for the Gatemen and just keep cutting down this lead. 1-2, cut on and missed. Breaking ball fooled Breifogel for the first out here in the 6th, and Peters responds to the Clark home run with a strikeout.
First baseman, number 36.
And Josh, you know, we're through 5 1/3, so as you said, we're in the second half of this game, but 4 runs for the Gatemen, I don't think it's anything to turn your head away from at this point. They were facing a starter who had been perfect in his first start, hadn't allowed any runs, that is. They're doing a good job offensively tonight.
McHugh fouls that one off and out of play.
And that might get lost a little bit, especially if they can't come back and win this game. They keep scoring runs, there's a chance they can make things interesting. Of course, they have to hold Chatham at bay, too. But first game after losing a centerpiece in your lineup, you've scored runs now in 3 straight innings, originally trailing by 9. I think that's something to be proud of, and it's something that speaks to the character of this team.
McHugh skies one over into shallow right field. Freeman under it and makes that grab. Wareham tied for 6th in the league in runs scored at 58.
Third baseman, number 20.
But when you include today and the 2 games prior, 13 runs in those last 3 games. So certainly working on scoring more frequently, more often. 6 against Orleans on Sunday, part of that 6-4 win. First pitches misses way upstairs to Andrew Kane.
Yeah, look out right there. That stayed away from his head enough. But, yeah, you said it. It's right in the middle part of the league in terms of runs, which I think is a pretty solid spot when you consider how Wareham started this season, struggling offensively.
1-0, fouled off over the third baseline and out of play.
But the thing with that is, if you're going to be 5th in the league, unless you're like 1st or 2nd, the pitching has to hold up their end of the bargain. But right now, the ERA for the Gatemen, it's improved, but it's 6. That's obviously going to take a hit tonight.
1-1. Fastball, bottom corner, strike 2. 2 runs against Hyannis opening day, 1 against Katuitt, and then 2 more against Chatham. That was how the Gatemen started the season. Those 3 straight losses. Just the 5 total runs. 1-2. Lined over into center, it's down. Andrew Kane protects home plate in a 2-strike count and delivers another single here for the Gatemen, his 2nd hit of the day.
Love his ability so far tonight to get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
Wareham, the shortstop, number 15.
Obviously, he's not left the yard to send anything into the gap, but his ability to find an empty patch of grass in the outfield to get on base has been really admirable. We talked about who's going to replace that production from Daly. Kane's had a couple of nice hits tonight.
Breaking ball finds the zone to Gargett at 80 miles an hour. He's 0 for 2, 2 ground outs, one of those a double play. Hit a monster shot home run against Orleans into left center on Sunday. 0-1. Fastball misses upstairs. Four runs, 5 hits for Wareham, 9 and 10 for the Anglers. 2 errors for the Gatemen as well. 1-1. Fastball misses high. Kane on first. Gargett skies one up. Shallow first baseline, drifting foul and out of play. Gargett talked about things after the Orleans game. He said offensively it just comes down to us putting the ball in play, limiting easy outs, routine outs. 4 runs so far in this one for Wareham, but the offense has been there over these last 3 innings, but the pitching, those 2 bad innings, 9 runs across the second and third. Shutouts in the first, fourth, and fifth. Check over to first base, not in time.
And if there's a trend we've seen kind of early in the season, you're in game number 14 now, it's that the offense will oftentimes get you a solid amount of runs, but if there's sort of a clunker by the pitching staff, will they be able to keep pace with, 9 runs?
Peters goes home, is 2-2, lined over to short. Lane flips to second for the easy out. Solo shot from Levi Clark, plates another for Wareham. Deficit cut to just 5, 9-4 lead Chatham, entering the home half of the 6th on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financing journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Entering the bottom of the 6th from Veterans Field, it's a 9-4 lead for Chatham. 9 runs across that second and third innings, including 6 in the third. Wareham responded with 4 in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Jordan Stevens' night is done after 3 innings. In comes Hudson Rowan, the lefty. First southpaw on the mound for Wareham tonight.
Control, control, control. That's the key for Hudson Rowan, especially with that fastball. He's got an electric one, lots of velocity. Hitters have a tough time hitting it when he locates it well. The ERA is at 1.17 across 4 games this summer, but he's allowed 5 walks in 7 2/3 innings. If he's missing high with that fastball, that could be a sign that he's not going to locate it well. But again, when and if he does, he's a really effective arm.
He's gotten 9 strikeouts so far. Gone more than an inning in 3 of his 4 appearances. Had multiple strikeouts in every single one of those. First batter he'll have to face, Ethan Mendoza, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Lefty on righty, first pitch. Fastball misses in the dirt.
And so you look at the scoreboard, you might think, oh, this is sort of a mop-up role for Hudson with this team down by 5. But the fact that the Gatemen have showed they can score now in 3 straight innings, it's a little bit more important than that because you want to keep it close. Wareham showed they could maybe make things interesting.
1-0, just below the knees. 2 balls, no strikes on Mendoza. Stevens' line closes 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. Walked none and struck out 4. 8 total strikeouts on the night for Gatemen pitching. 2-0, misses outside.
Aside from that 3rd inning, Stevens was solid. Back-to-back shutout innings. Tough when you inherit runners on base.
3-0. Fastball right down the middle, strike one. Mendoza taking all the way. Same strategy he endorsed to lead off the third. Was ahead 3-0. Pitch inside corner. Mendoza dropped his bat. Now picks it back up and gets ready for his full count.
There were 3 early balls in the count, but they were all around the plate pretty much, which is a good sign from Rowan. He's continued that trend now across these past 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch. Delivery home is fouled off into the backstop, and Mendoza stays alive. He drew the walk to lead off the third. Chase Fralick followed it up with a single. Freeman an RBI. Arambidi struck out and then began a run of 5 straight hits for Chatham. Helped plate those 6th runs. Give the Anglers, at that point, a 9-0 lead, now 9-4. 3-2 again, fouled off and into the night down the first base line.
Keep pumping in those fastballs. Behind on that one was Mendoza. And Rowan's been around the plate. It's when he really misses high, those bad misses, that's a bad sign. But really strong start right around the plate for him so far.
Kicks and deals, breaking ball just above the zone. Mendoza works a walk, here to lead off in the 6th.
Tough to allow a leadoff base runner here, but it's still, as I said, a good start for Rowan, a positive sign that he's right around the plate. We saw the ability there, how dangerous that fastball can be when it then sets up that breaking ball. Can fool hitters, look like it fooled Mendoza a little bit, but as you said, just a little bit high.
8 pitches in that at-bat. Mendoza got to see. Brings up Fralick. His first look against Rowan is lined over to short. Gargett flips to second for 1. Turner over to first for 2.
Those are the kinds of double plays you dream of if you're a pitcher because it's hard hit, but it's right at an infielder. And so with Fralick, the catcher DH, running on a ball that hard hit, no chance for him to get to first.
6-4-3, Gargett, Turner, and then over to McHugh. Erases the leadoff walk. Puts nobody on and 2 outs here for Freeman in the 6th. Rowan's first pitch is a breaking ball that misses above the belt. Freeman 2 hits so far today, a single and a double. Back-to-back innings in the 2nd and the 3rd. Came in hitting .333, skies that one foul over the press box in the shallow infield. Our producer, Chuck Luarasi, giving some of those young Chatham children a good run at it. That's probably not a great look if he comes away with that baseball.
Yeah. I mean, it would showcase the athleticism, but when you're robbing little kids of baseball.
You didn't come away with it, Chuck, did you? No, he's shaking his head at us now.
He's getting his steps in tonight.
2-1 for Freeman, misses upstairs.
Who's that guy who got banned from the
Zach Campbell.
Yeah,
Zach
that's
Campbell.
the last thing
he's
you
not
want when
banned
you're
from
like,
Major League Baseball. He's only banned from a few parks.
Only a few.
Yeah.
That's the when you're fighting
still,
kids for balls. That's where I think you've crossed the line. But if you're the first one to it, congrats.
3-1. Skied and fouled off, and Chuck goes off again. At what age do you think you have to start giving up, like chasing after foul balls?
I think,
like what's appropriate?
Middle school.
So that's what, 13, 14, 12, our producer Abby Smith says. Pay off and fouled off. Freeman stays alive.
It's funny, if Chuck asked any of these guys, they'd give him a ball from batting practice or anything.
Yeah, probably.
So he's right. But still a fun thing to...
Well, that's how you get him at Major League parks a lot more often, is just sitting behind the bullpen. Maybe you get one there or an outfielder. Rowan deals to Freeman, lined over into left center. Breifogel goes back, and he gets under it to make the grab. Rowan faces the minimum here in the 6th, thanks to a double play. 6-4-3, heading into the 7th. Chatham 9, Wareham 4, here on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
3 innings left tonight from Veterans Field. It'll be the bottom of the Gatemen order, 7-8-9. Cruson, Turner, Rose against Mason Peters, about to enter his 3rd inning of action. 9-4 lead for the Anglers. Chatham built that big lead. Wareham has responded with at least 1 run over the past 3 innings, trying to just keep cutting that deficit down with 9 outs remaining in their game.
And this may be a big make-or-break inning to do so, because if they don't score, you still have the 8th and the 9th, but would be tough to score 5 runs across those 2 innings. So again, just get a little bit closer, take some of that pressure off yourself in the 8th and the 9th.
First pitch from Peters, breaking ball, misses the plate. Cruson's had a couple productive ABs so far. Fought one off over into left center. Takes a breaking ball at the knees, strike 1. In the 5th, he protected with 2 strikes, delivered a shot over into left center, over the head of Isaiah Lane. Led off the inning, then came around to score as well. 1-1. Swung on and missed.
And what those 4th, 5th, and 6th innings all have in common for the Gatemen is the leadoff runner got on base. Obviously, last inning, Clark, the home run, but Yost led off the 4th with the walk, and as you said, Cruson led off the 5th with that base hit. So leadoff base runner is really important when you're down by 5.
Now he's behind 1-2 here. Delivery, skied over into shallow right center, drifting over, and Freeman has to watch that one fall in front. The leadoff base runner string continues here in the 7th. A single for Chase Cruson has 1 on and nobody out for Wareham.
Cruson, just like Kane, those lefties have found an ability here tonight to just make contact with 2 strikes, put it in play. And as you said, Gargett talked about putting the ball in play. Good things will happen more times than not.
First pitch to Turner, hits him on the knee, and that advances Cruson to second. Turner over to first. 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th.
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, Josh, but when you're down by 5, you were down by 9, to really get back into the game, a big inning is really what you need. Helps to chip away, make it more manageable, but in order to have a big inning, you need base runners. Now, all of a sudden, with 2 runners on, the pressure ratchets up on Peters. You have the top of the order waiting on deck. Just keep the line moving.
Well, the deficit's been cut nearly in half from what it was entering the top of the 4th. It was 9-0 Chatham after 3. First pitch, Mac Rose. Fastball outside corner at 92 for strike 1.
If you're Rose, obviously you'd love to advance the runners. Not going to probably see a bunt here, down by 5, but you have to avoid a double play ball on the ground.
Peters looks back at Cruson on second, takes a second look, and now delivers home. Breaking ball over the heart of the plate, strike 2. Rose had 2 really nice years in college. This past season at Vanderbilt, reached base safely in 22 consecutive games. On base percentage of .393. Just hasn't been able to do it so far this summer as he fouls that one off. Came into today hitting just .063. With the 2 groundouts, that's down to .056. But now you're in a spot you can deliver with runners on base. All is forgiven.
Yeah, just one at bat, one hit to get the confidence, because then that can translate across future at bats.
Peters sets and deals to home. Fastball misses in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rose. 2 on, nobody out in the 7th. Chatham leads Wareham 9-4. Following Rose will be Hayden Yost. Brings the top of the order back up for the Gatemen. 1-2 count. Peters delivers. Breaking ball misses outside.
And this is a great approach by Mac Rose after the 2 quick strikes. Fell off a close pitch. 2 balls now to make things a little more interesting. Again, left on left. Just have to avoid that ground ball double play. Just try and do a job at the very least.
Jake Hanley playing off the bag at first. Into the shallow outfield. Rose swings and misses on a breaking ball. Strike 3.
Just way out in front of that was Rose. Looked like maybe he recognized that out of the hand, just kind of lifted up a little bit before that ball got into the break. And was just way out in front, started the swing too early. And the recognition was there. Still a solid at bat. Now Yost has to come through.
Lefty on lefty for Yost. First pitch, fastball, outside corner, 93 for strike 1. Gavin Gallagher, the third baseman, was playing pretty close to that infield grass on that previous pitch. Now he moved back about even with the base paths. Looked like he was ready for a bunt. Now 0-1. Delivery, swung on and missed. Fastball got by Yost, and he's behind 0-2.
If Yost could get on base, especially with Levi Clark due up next off of that home run his last at bat, that's when the tension would really ratchet up for Chatham. But credit to Peters, he's gotten ahead early on Rose and now Yost, back-to-back lefties ahead of Clark.
Pitch clock violation on Peters, and that puts a ball on the board for Yost, now behind just 1-2. He was 2 for 4 with an RBI against Orleans over the weekend. Been swinging a hot bat as of late. Couple multi-hit games. Big spot for him here. 1-2. Chopper over down the first baseline. It's Hanley. He's got a long run for him. Flip over to the bag, and he beats them.
That's Mason Peters who really made that play happen, because, as you said, Hanley had a long way to go if he was just going to take it himself to the bag. He wasn't going to win a foot race with Yost. So credit to Peters coming all the way off the mound to receive that throw. And then this is where things could get interesting, but it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
Yep, Mason Peters' night is done. That'll be it for the lefty facing Levi Clark. So a new arm comes in for Chatham here in the 7th. Gatemen threatening with 2 on and 2 out, both in scoring position for Levi Clark, who homered into right field his last at-bat. While the Anglers warm up a new arm, we'll take a break here on Cape League TV. Chatham 9, Wareham 4 here in the 7th.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Mason Peters goes 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits. His run line is still open. He's responsible for 2 on, 2nd and 3rd. Chase Cruson and Colby Turner, respectively. And now entering the game, the righty Colton Smith, trying to get this last out of the 7th against Levi Clark, the designated hitter.
Not surprised to see a pitching change to get the platoon matchup against Levi Clark, who popped that home run. Smith, 1 appearance, it was a start, went 4 innings, allowed 2 runs. Just 1 strikeout, 3 walks. He throws a cutter, fastball, sweeper, curveball, changeup. So a lot of different offerings. The velocity is obviously there. The fact that he only struck 1 hitter out, 3 walks in that outing tells you that he'll probably be around the plate most at-bats. A tendency to get wild, but in this at-bat to Clark, he does have the base open, but his ability to locate early in the count will be key. For the Gatemen, they love an extra base hit by Clark. Call back even more.
You mentioned it, though, Corey. He is a starter, so coming in with guys on might be a little difficult for him. First pitch is hammered out into shallow left field, and making the grab is a charging Larson to end the inning. Just off the end of the bat from Levi Clark. Gatemen leave 2 on in the 7th, heading into the home half as we get ready to stretch from Veterans Field. Chatham leads 9-4 over Wareham.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Home half of the 7th here for Chatham. It'll be 6, 7, 8 in the order for the Anglers. Hosting a 9-4 lead over the Gatemen. Hudson Rowan back on the mound, his 2nd inning of action. Aaron Beatty, Hanley, and Larson due up now for the Anglers, trying to extend this lead. That top of the 7th was the first time that Wareham didn't score a run back since the 3rd inning. Been cutting that deficit down slowly but surely. And now Chatham a chance to respond and bring that lead back up just a little bit more. Rowan's first pitch, fastball misses outside.
Yeah, that top of the 7th was just almost like a gut punch for the Gatemen. They get the first 2 runners on to start the inning, then to not score them is a tough break.
1-0, fastball at the knees. Count 1 ball, 1 strike.
And they had 2 runners on for Levi Clark. You can't really ask for much more. Love the first pitch aggression. A get-me-over fastball, and you said it, Josh, just off the end of the bat. Missed it just a tad.
1-1, skips in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike from Rowan. Aaron Beatty so far tonight, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, 2 of them swinging. His season debut for the Anglers. 2-1. Fastball finds the zone.
Yeah, in your debut, you're hoping obviously not to go down on strikes 4 times. Aaron Beatty has plenty defensive value as a backstop too, not just as a hitter.
Rowan's 2-2. Breaking ball upstairs.
Aaron Beatty with the pop time, 1.7 seconds. One point had a 102-mile-per-hour outfield throw, so the pop time and the arm velo behind home plate certainly work as well.
Rowan's payoff pitch skips in the dirt, and Aaron Beatty reaches base for the first time today. Draws a walk here in the 7th to lead it off for Chatham.
And those 2 back-to-back misses from Rowan, a little bit past that small margin he had been missing by in the 6th. One that was way up in the zone, and then you said kind of skipped in there in the dirt. Just one batter, but if you're Rowan, get back to being around the plate, letting your stuff work to your advantage.
Jake Hanley's got a single in this one, back up the middle. First pitch, lines that one into left field and down. Aggression lefty on lefty for Jake Hanley. Moves Aaron Beatty over to second, and 2 on and nobody out in the 7th for Chatham. The Anglers threatening to put some more runs back on the board for the first time since the 3rd inning.
They are, and it was a good approach by Hanley. Let that fastball get pretty deep, then just shoot it the other way. Don't try and come out of your shoes. Give him credit. It's tough to catch up to that Rowan fastball a lot of times. Was in the zone right there. He's in a tough spot now. It still does have that lefty-on-lefty matchup, though.
2 straight lefties in the Anglers lineup. First pitch misses upstairs on Ashton Larson. He's 2 for 2. 2 RBI singles, then reached on an error back in the 5th. Pitch skips in the dirt from Rowan. It was a fastball. And now Larson ahead 2-0. Second game of the season for Larson. He was 1 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts against Falmouth. (2-0). Big hack and a miss. Larson followed by Isaiah Lane in the order. No part of this Anglers lineup that hasn't produced today. 11 hits, 2-1. Misses downstairs. 3 balls and a strike to the Angler 8-hitter Larson. With Lane now 1 pitch away from having a bases-loaded spot and nobody out here in the 7th.
It's just that fastball location this inning, especially to the first and now 3rd hitter Larson, hasn't been there as consistently for Rowan.
3-1. Skies over into shallow center field. Yost charges and makes the grab.
That was a big pitch right there. Not wanting to load the bases with Lane coming up. Fastball that he really had to throw in the zone. Did a nice job to locate it fairly well, kind of right at the belt. Larson was just behind on it, and an easy out for Yost in center.
Rowan's at an inning and a third. That hit from Hanley was the first he's allowed so far tonight. First pitch to Lane. Fastball at the belt, strike 1. Lane struck out in the 2nd, had a 2 RBI double in the 3rd, and then was hit back in the 5th. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lane's batting average just 189 entering today. Swinging a hot bat late, Lilo, 2 for 3 against the Commodores. 1-1. Fouls it off into the netting.
And the numbers as a whole for this Anglers team, I mean, they're kind of middle of the pack, most especially their offensive numbers. The pitching with the 4.10 ERA is obviously ninth, but it's been pretty solid today. So Chatham trying to rebound bottom part of those East standings.
1-2, breaking ball misses upstairs. Chatham 4-6-3 so far this season through 13 games. 3 ties this early, not that common, but has them in last place in the East. Orleans in 4th at 6-7. 2-2. Liner over to first. McHugh fields it, throws to second for 1. Gargett, no throw back over to first. Lane reaches on the fielder's choice. Hanley out at second. Aaron Beatty over to third, and they'll be on the corners for Chatham with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
That's a really nice play by McHugh, sliding to make that stop. He had to contend with Hanley running right by him as he went to the ground to make that sliding stop. And it's tough for any infielder when you have a base runner passing right in front of you, kind of obstructing your line of vision. Credit him to go down to make sure he at least stopped that ball, made a nice throw to second for a big out number 2.
That flips things back over to the top of this Chatham order and Henry Ford. First pitch in for strike 1. Ford playing center field tonight, but the number 3 first base prospect in the MLB draft this upcoming season. 0-1. Misses inside, ball 1.
Ford's been really impressive. Came in over 300. Even thinking back to Fenway days, some of the shots he was hitting over the Green Monster.
You almost caught one.
Yeah, got it off a couple of bounces.
Not as impressive, but we'll let it slide.
I'm gonna tell people I caught it, though.
1-1. Fouled off into the netting over the Wareham dugout. I mean, you already have. We've kind of passed that off as you caught it.
Yeah, why not? I have a better catch percentage than Chuck Luarasi tonight, that's for sure.
Well, he hasn't gotten back there in time to try and field one. He's just been on a charge.
You got to put yourself in those positions to catch him.
He's got his computer on his lap now, following along on the Gamecast, so certainly not in a position to chase after anything more. Breaking ball misses upstairs.
And Ford's a guy for Chatham, I think, draft eligible. It's a question of when, not if, obviously with his talent. So the Anglers trying to take advantage of his bat when they had him, similar to Wareham and Tidally.
2-2. Lines went over into left field and out of the glove of Breyfogle. In to score is Aaron Beatty. Here comes Larson. He's in to score, Lane rather. And it's a 2 RBI double for Henry Ford here in the 7th. 11-4 Chatham lead over Wareham.
And you just tip your cap to Henry Ford right there. Got a pitch.
Third baseman.
Big part of the zone. Just got his hands through it, turned through it, and just blasted that one into left field. He's already driven in 3 runs coming into that at-bat. And with that double, plating 2, probably put this game on ice.
7-run lead now in the 7th for the Anglers. 11-4 the score. Chatham with double the hits of Wareham. First pitch to Gallagher is fouled off into the night over first base. Ford now 3 for 5 tonight. 2 doubles, couple RBIs, a strikeout, and a flyout. He's got 5 runs batted in. Breaking pitch in the dirt fools Gallagher, goes around with the bat. Now behind 0-2.
And Ford typically hit 3rd or 4th at UVA almost exclusively. Only 1 game at 5th. The rest split between 3rd and 4th in the order. But you're getting him a lot of at-bats when he hits leadoff. And it's paid dividends for Chatham.
Rowan deals 0-2. Breaking ball. And down goes Gallagher on the whiff. That ends the inning. Ford left stranded on second, but not before his 2 RBI double extends this Anglers lead back up to 7. It's 11-4 as we enter the 8th inning here from Veterans Field.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the second year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
It's the 8th inning from Veterans Field, and the Anglers hold a 7-run lead over the Gatemen, 11-4. As Easton Breyfogle steps up for his 4th AB of the day, 3-4-5 in this Gateman order, followed by McHugh and Kane. Colton Smith back on the mound. Now digs in, ready to deal. First pitch to Breyfogle is a fastball upstairs at 88 miles an hour, and it's 1-0.
Now with a deficit of 7 after the 2 runs came in the 7th, if you're the Gatemen, try and just get some solid at-bats, try and carry that into tomorrow's contest. Continue the plate discipline, try and get a pitch to hit.
Smith deals home. Fastball over the heart of the plate, count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gatemen back in action tomorrow at Spillane Field. Battle against Harwich. The Mariners and the Gatemen have split the first 2 meetings back at White House Field. 1-1 delivery, skips in the dirt ahead of Breyfogle, and it's 2-1. That first game, 5-2 win. Hayden Yost had a shot out into right field. The Gatemen got ahead and never gave the lead up after that. Second game, different story. Down early, Cooper Consiglio, 2 runs, neither of them earned. 2-1. Hit in the air over into left field, or right field rather, and that drifts foul. Wareham got walked off in that one, 3-2. Extra innings, Gavin Black, wild pitch. If the score stands, the Gatemen would drop to 3rd in the West Division at 6-8. 2-2. Breaking ball misses high.
And those 2 Harwich matchups kind of showed you that the strength of that Mariners team is their pitching. So hopefully this Gateman pitching staff can take advantage of the fact that the Mariners, at least at this point, don't have the most potent lineup throughout the league and can get back to their effective ways.
3-2. Cut on and missed in the dirt. Aaron Beatty tosses over to the bag at first. And a drop third strikeout for Easton Breyfogle. His 3rd K of the day puts 1 out here in the 8th. And Wareham still trailing 11-4.
The designated hitter, number 36, Chris McHugh.
You mentioned Harwich's pitching. They ended up tying today for the 2nd time this season. 2-2 against Hyannis. So on the bright side, the division leader in the West doesn't gain a win, what would be 2 points, instead just 1 with the tie. Pitching around the Cape, Harwich, the 2nd lowest ERA in the league. First pitch to McHugh, cut on and missed on the breaking ball. Harwich 2.45, Brewster ahead at just 2.43. Certainly has some arms at their disposal. 0-1, breaking ball. Fooled McHugh again. He swings and misses.
And the trend for the Gatemen, the pitching has been solid. When you go Brewster, 2-1 win. YD allowed 6 runs, but solid performance.
3 of them were unearned.
Yeah, 6-4 against Orleans Sunday. So it's just kind of these few clunkers mixed in.
0-2 to McHugh is skied over into right field. Drifting back is Freeman. medium depth, and he makes the grab.
And I think on a night-to-night, day-to-day basis, the offense is going to provide you at least 4 to 5 runs, and they're going to make things competitive as they did tonight. It's just tough when you're in a 9-0 hole.
You can't give up 6 runs in the third inning, right?
A 9-0 hole early on. It's really tough to come back from.
3-4 runs is manageable, but when you put yourself behind that much, that early, it's tough to come back from. First pitch to Kane is a fastball in the zone for strike 1 at 90 miles an hour. Kane got his first 2 hits of his Gatemen season tonight. An RBI single, and then another one out into center. Behind 0-1, breaking ball at the knees. 0-2.
Obviously, you hate to keep harping on it, but still, the Gatemen, you've seen it now, a game without Ty Daly, sort of the complexion of what this team lineup might need to do, might look like without him, and obviously what he brought offensively.
0-2. Hack and a miss. Kane goes down on strikes. 2 Ks in the 8th for Colton Smith. And the Gatemen down 1-2-3. Home half coming up as the Anglers lead 11-4 on Cape League TV.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
A-Plus repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Home half of the 8th, and this one's all but over. 11-4 Chatham leads, and now tries to plate a few more and keep things completely out of reach. Mendoza, Freilich, and Freeman 3-4-5 for Chatham. Hudson Rowan back out again for his 3rd inning of action so far tonight.
If he can get through this frame cleanly, the Gatemen don't have to turn to the bullpen. The fact that you have only had to use 3 arms after an 11-run game, not the worst thing in the world at all.
Baisley only went 2 innings to start it off. 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He gave way to Jordan Stevens, inherited a lot of Baisley's runners on base already, and then gave up a few of his own. Big hack and a miss from Mendoza. That bat flies out of his hands. That nearly hit Jackson Freeman, who's in the hole, nearing over the Chatham dugout. So he's going to put some spray on his handle of that bat and make sure it doesn't fly out of his hand again.
It's always a scary thing when the bat leaves the hitter's hand, either on a broken bat or, in that case, when he lets go of it completely. But part of the reason why you have that protective netting extended down the first and third base sides.
Mendoza back in. 1-1 from Rowan, misses up and away. Unfortunately for the dugout, though, that protective netting doesn't really save them.
No, it doesn't extend up. And
saves the fans.
And they have to react on a split-second notice.
2-1. Fouled off into the netting behind home plate. 2-2.
I think some good news is that we got, fingers crossed, a full game in pretty much. The fog didn't roll in and bring an end to this game.
Not enough to warrant anything. Got a full 9 innings of baseball, or barring a Gateman comeback, 8.5. 2-2, fouled off and over the netting and out of play. You played baseball, Cory, yeah?
I did.
Did you ever almost get hit by a flying bat, projectile, anything like that? Was it ever close?
I don't think so. It certainly happened in games I played in, but I was never close
Never
to being
in
on the
your area?
receiving end of it.
2-2 misses outside. Because it's one thing, I mean, these guys are trained to, see the ball, catch the ball, react. It's another thing when a pretty heavy bat is flying at you. Payoff, misses outside, and Mendoza draws a walk.
It's the last thing you're expecting on the on-deck circle, too, when there's a righty batting and you're the lefty Freilich. You think you're fine because the foul balls aren't going to come in your direction. You have to be so far out in front of one, so you're not expecting anything to come your way.
Yeah, most foul balls that would, stay eye level would drift over and slice to the opposite field.
Yep.
And you mentioned anything that you're so far that far out in front on is really just going to go in the dirt. Not be that much of an issue. First pitch strike to Freilich. When did you stop playing baseball?
Early in high school.
0-1, breaking ball over the heart of the plate.
And it's interesting because Chase Freilich, who I talked about, he had like 60 Division I tennis offers, decided to pursue baseball. Instead, I was the opposite. Stopped playing baseball and started playing more tennis.
How about that?
Clearly not as successful in either one, though, as Chase Freilich, though.
Not everybody can be. 0-2, fouls it off and stays alive over the press box. And there goes Chuck Luarasi, ready to try and steal that baseball away.
He's just a little late on those jumps.
He doesn't have a great jump, but he comes back shaking his head. Chuck, what is that, 0 for 4 today? 0 for 4, yep. 0-2, got him looking. Freilich down on strikes in the 8th. And Rowan gets a K for the first out in this inning. Tennis, huh? Have you been watching Wimbledon? Started these last few days.
I haven't. I've kept up to date with some of the scores. There have been a lot of upsets so far.
Coco Gauff.
Yeah.
Shocking. First pitch misses down and away to Freeman.
Coming off of a Grand Slam victory, you just don't expect that. Been some on the men's circuit, too. Top seeds go down. A lot of close matches.
Rowan's 1-0 misses away. 2 balls, no strikes. Mendoza on first. 1 out here in the 8th. 11-4 lead for Chatham. Yeah, I was stress watching the 5th set of Taylor Fritz's match this morning.
Came all the way back.
Yeah, I was
down.
watching it last night. 2-0 fastball finds the zone. I was watching it last night, and one of my buddies from college is from Syracuse, but one of my friends in the sport analytic department at SU is a huge Taylor Fritz fan, and I FaceTimed him while he was at the gym so we could watch his comeback in the 4th set together. 2-1. Misses downstairs. And then the curfew came into play.
Yeah. I think that's always frustrating for them. But I'm a big Taylor Fritz fan. I know he struggled a little bit to kick off this calendar year, but hopefully one of the leading forces in the American tennis renaissance.
Soft check back over to first for Rowan. A lot of good Americans starting to work their way back up the ranks. Fritz, the highest ranked at 5th in the world.
Fritz, Shelton, Tiafoe,
Tommy
Paul, yeah.
Liner back up the middle. It's Turner. Flips it over to Gargett at the bag for 1. Over to first for 2.
Nice play.
4-6-3 ends this 8th inning. And Chatham leaves 1 on as we head to the top of the 9th. Gatemen still trail 11-4 from Veterans Field.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen.
Colton Smith hopes to end it here in the top of the ninth. Chatham with a pretty big cushion, 11-4. It'll be 6-7-8 in the Gatemen order to try and get some more runs across, but 3 outs to plate 7 is going to be a pretty tall task for Wareham.
A tall task. They brought it to within 5 runs before the Anglers added more runs on. Credit the Gatemen. They fought back throughout this contest. Just it's tough to win games when you allow 11 runs. But again, it shows that the good character of this team, that they fought back to the extent that they did.
Gargett tries to score up a bunt, and there goes Chuck as he fouls it without a play, and he can't get that ball either.
Probably maybe the closest one he got to, and that's not often you see a bunt attempt that comes all the way back over the netting out of play.
No. Gargett tried to square it up. He's tried to get a couple of those down this season. 0-1, keeps the bat back, and that one flies out of his hand on the swinging strike.
Guess that's contagious,
so
too.
Mendoza does it in the home half. And then in the top of the ninth, Gargett is going to get some of that sticky stuff on the handle of his bat as well. Gargett behind 0-2. Leading off this ninth. Following will be Chase Cruson. Colby Turner stands in the hole. Smith on the mound. Raises the glove to his face. And now out of the windup, kicks and deals. His 0-2 is lined over into left field, and charging and making a diving attempt at it is Ashton Larson, and he can't make the play. So Gargett reaches on the single over into left.
Good job by Gargett behind in the count. Staying with the pitch in the zone. Get on base for the first time tonight. Nice line drive base hit. And once again, the Gatemen have continued to fight no matter what the deficit has been. Speaks to the character of this team. Still trying to get some good at-bats, build good habits that can translate moving forward.
Gargett off and running, and Aaron Beatty just concedes that stolen base. Doesn't even attempt to throw down, and Gargett in safely at second.
Yeah, why worry about it? You got a good enough jump. Worry about the hitter if you're Chatham.
That's the shortstop's second stolen base this season. 0-1 to Cruson. Fastball down the middle. Smith delivers his 1-1. Fastball, big hack and a miss.
The Gatemen have 7 hits tonight, which makes sense given the 4 runs, but again, they've been able to find some green grass in the outfield. So despite the 4 runs, the deficit, the game's going to look like it was maybe sort of a blowout, but the ability by Wareham to try and maintain the fight after the 9-run deficit, I think, is very admirable.
Those 9 runs in the first 3 innings, Smith deals and Cruson fouls it off. Wareham responded, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th as well. Chatham scoreless over that middle stretch of this game, responded with 2 in the home half of the 7th. When it was 5, it did feel manageable, at least for a little while, cutting the lead almost in half in just 3 innings of action. 1-2. Skips in the dirt ahead of Cruson. Did he check his swing? He went around. Drop third strike and a delivery over to Hanley at the bag. First out in the 9th. Gargett remained on second. Lead man in scoring position for Wareham, down 11-4.
And you look at the game after the 3rd inning, the Gatemen have outscored Chatham 4-2. Obviously, that's not how things work. You don't get to eliminate innings, but I think it shows that the effort has been there and that there have been adjustments that have been made.
Yeah, they didn't give up.
The bullpen has stopped the bleeding for the most part. The lineup has produced up to a certain extent.
Big lead from Gargett. He stays put, skips in the dirt ahead of Arambidi, and now he's caught in no man's land. Arambidi doesn't throw down, and Gargett dives back in safely.
And tonight it was 2 pretty big innings, not just the 1 for the Gatemen. That trend was big early in the season and a couple losses. Hasn't been as much of the case.
But even just, I mean, you can take, even if you want to leave the 3-run second in there.
It's really the 3rd.
I mean, 5-4,
yeah.
you know, when you take that out. And you mentioned, the 7 hits, 4 runs. Most of the time, that's good enough to, maybe not win you every game, but at least keep you in games. So the offense still not bad tonight. Chopper down the third baseline, foul.
And that's the trend. The offense has given you a solid amount of runs, more times than not what you need to win games. Haven't eclipsed like double digits multiple times this season. The game against Hyannis they did, that's it. But they're producing and more times than not giving the team what they need, the run support to win games.
Turner 0 for 2, 1-1, lined over and into left field, down for a hit. Gargett stops at third. Colby Turner gets a hit on the board with 1 out here in the 9th, and they're on the corners for the Gatemen.
Like to see that from Colby Turner. He'd been struggling a little bit entering play. Got a pitch up in the zone, just went and got it. Laced it through that left side. Hard hit base hit. Now another chance for Rose to come through with the base hit. Pressure's off him a little bit. 2 runners on. Team's down by 7, but still a chance to get off the schneid, so to speak.
First pitch to Rose. Skies one over into right center. Drifting back at the wall. It's at the track and down. Gargett rounds third and scores. Turner stops at third. Mac Rose gets his first double of the season. An extra base hit for the catcher. Plates 1 on the RBI and cuts the deficit to 6, 11-5 here in the 9th.
Just that simple swing from Rose. Got that pitch in the zone, didn't miss it. Easy power out to center field, and it's funny what a situation like this does. Just talked about it. Not really that much of a close game anymore. The pressure's off of him. Got a pitch in the zone, sort of free swinging, and all of a sudden, he's got that first extra base hit of the summer.
I mean, that has to feel good, right? I mean, first pitch to Yost is a breaking ball that finds the zone. Hitting .063, batting average now Buck back up to triple digits. It's at 100 even, and I'm sure he'd like it to be higher, but it'll instill some confidence in him, you could at least hope. Chopper to second. Mendoza flips it over to first for the out. And Yost retired on 2 pitches. Another run comes in to score. Turner does. And it's 11-6 with 2 runs here in the 9th.
And that's what it is. It's taking the positives, keeping the approach, and building off of that for future games. That's something Mac Rose, he gets his confidence up. That can be a really dangerous tool for a hitter. Once you get the confidence up, all of a sudden 1 hit can translate to 3, 4, 5 more.
Especially, you got 3 catchers on the roster. Levi Clark up to bat, .324 batting average here. First pitch misses inside, but I mean, Rose and Clark, both guys that have shown that they can play in the outfield into left field. Clark DHing tonight while Rose is behind the plate, but if Rose's bat can picks up, gives Ryan Smythe a lot more leeway into what he wants to do with him. That fastball misses below the knees.
Especially since Carnes and Clark are righties. Rose the lefty, but at the end of the day, maybe he gets, as of now, a couple less plate appearances because he struggled more than Clark and Rose, but I don't think that rotation of 3 catchers is going to end overall.
2-0. Breaking ball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. It started off like that, Cory. Wareham had 2 catchers for a while there, Rose and Adam Agresti, just kind of rotating in and out. A couple new guys join that rotation. 2-1. In the air, shallow right field. Freeman back and called off by Mendoza. Makes the catch over his shoulder. And that ends things off here from Veterans Field. The Gatemen score 2 in the 9th to bring the run total up to 6 on the night. And still not enough to take down the Anglers. Chatham wins this one 11-6 from Veterans Field, thanks to 9 runs in the first 3 innings.
It was all Chatham early on, and another game where it was a big inning, couple of innings for Chatham. That early 9-0 deficit really put things out of reach early on. We talked about it if you're the Gatemen. The ability to try and grind back into this game, the effort and the at-bats were obviously there. They scored 2 in the 4th, a run in the 5th and the 6th, and now 2 in the 9th. 6 runs. Overall, that's still a solid day. They didn't quit when they were down by 9. Made things a tad bit interesting. In the bullpen, besides the 2 runs in the 7th, obviously Stevens allowed some in the 3rd as well, but the bullpen, after that big 3rd inning, really quieted the Anglers' bats.
That's the same total that Wareham put up in the 6-4 win against Orleans back on Sunday. Had the off day yesterday, so now Wareham drops to 6-8 on the season, 3rd place in the West Division, with a battle for the 3rd time against an Eastern foe, Harwich, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, this time for the first time at home at Spillane Field.
And if trends hold up, as I talked about earlier in this one, on paper this looks to be more of a low-scoring contest, given what Harwich has been able to do as a pitching staff. One of the top ERAs in the league. It's been low scoring across the first 2 matchups. Again, trying to carry over the positives from tonight. Flush that final score. It was a tough game, 11-6. Obviously, you're not going to win a lot of games when you put up or let up 11 runs. But a strong chance for the Gatemen. They've done a nice job this season. They've recovered from a couple of 3-game losing streaks to get back on track. A chance to do that tomorrow against Harwich. Obviously, if you're the pitching staff, flush this game, build off some of the late positives. The offense, even without Ty Daly, a solid performance. It may get lost in the final line score, but 6 runs for the 2nd straight game. A solid performance once again.
First pitch from Spillane Field comes at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and that will wrap us up here from Veterans Field. For Cory Miller, our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet, our producers, Abby Smith and Chuck Luarasi, I'm Josh Richardson signing off. Chatham beats Wareham 11-6 tonight.